on Saturday. In other sports, Cactus League Baseball, Cubs over the Royals 5-3 in their final spring game. White Sox over the Brewers 16-1. Sox take on the Charlotte Knights in Charlotte today. In the NHL, Blackhawks host the San Jose Sharks. The news is a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. AM 560 News Time 5:04. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
On AM 560, The Answer, your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Every business needs great people, and the better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter revolutionized hiring. Their technology finds great candidates for you. No wonder 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. For a limited time, get $50 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
I don't want to get up. I gotta give the annual report at the meeting today. It's probably gonna be the same old soggy lunch, too.
Sweetie, didn't you say they were having tasty catering at the meeting today?
Oh yeah, I'm up.
Yeah, thought so.
Created by their chefs, perfected in their kitchens, Tasty Catering's corporate menu has meeting goers, power brunchers, and conference attendees thinking twice about showing up late and leaving early. Tasty Catering's executive continental breakfast, wraps, sandwiches, and entree selections are powering your workplace for more than productivity. Taste and experience the difference. Call Tasty Catering today to find out how easy it is to start planning your next corporate meeting or event. Let them help you create the perfect menu. Deliver everything you need, tables, plates, utensils, and more, then come back when you're finished to clean it all up. Tasty Catering, the team to call for your corporate catering. Visit tastycatering.com to see for yourself. Discover the online menu today at tastycatering.com.
At 5:07 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, let's say good morning to Jim Talamonte.
Good Monday morning, David. On the Stevenson Expressway outbound at First Avenue, the ramp was partially blocked there after a collision, an early one. A vehicle and a deer, that has cleared now. The ramp is open. No restrictions in that area. On the inbound Eisenhower, the exit to Racine is now closed until late 2019. This is all part of the Burns Circle reconstruction project. In addition, we have an additional left lane closure from Ogden to the Circle, also until late next year. It's part of that reconstruction, so expect more of a bottleneck now on the inbound Ike coming into downtown Chicago. The Edens is fine, Kennedy as well. No problems to report on the Stevenson or the inbound Ryan. The outbound Ryan has roadwork from 87th to split in the 3 left lanes. The other expressways and tollways look good at this hour. Traffic is a service of Firestone Complete Auto Care. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care through April 2nd. Get $60 on a Visa prepaid card by mail when you purchase a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Restrictions and exclusions apply. Visit driveafirestone.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next, but now the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy and mild with increasing cloudiness, high 51. Breezy this evening, periods of rain tonight, low 45, but temperature will rise into the middle 50s overnight. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
33 at the lakefront, 30 degrees at Midway, 30 at O'Hare. Next news, 5:30. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Saturdays at noon on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and I have not seen a run by a person of the cloth like Sister Jean since Bishop Pickering and Caddyshack. And
yeah, you tweeted that out, didn't you?
Yeah, hopefully this will end better for her. There it is. That's the Loyola Ramblers fight song.
Right.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't Kenny Loggins from Caddyshack. So are you going to grab a ticket to San Antonio or head down to see the Ramblers play Michigan on Saturday?
You know what? If I attended Loyola, I definitely would have gone. I would have gone to Atlanta this past weekend to see the Magic there. But, no, I'm not going to be going. But I did enjoy it. And I love your coach, Mosier. He's growing on me.
Porter Mosier?
Yeah.
We have
a common friend. Here's the reason why he took the job at Loyola.
Because he needed one?
I've been blessed with two mentors, Tony Baroni and Coach Rick Majerus. And Coach Majerus was he was adamant. He's like, you got to take this job. You know, he said we were building something there. And he goes, you got to take this job. You're from Chicago area, Jesuit school. So I think he'd be happy with the type of kids we got and how we play the game. And that's what he.
Then Custer, then Towns, and on Saturday it was Ben Richardson knocking down threes.
Richardson is roommates with another player on the team, and I don't know if you saw the post-game interviews on the court. He was they asked him and his friend, his roommate, who of course I don't know his name, you know, what it's like. Everyone's starting to get to know you. Everybody wants your autograph. Everybody wants pictures with you.
In the hotel yesterday, a girl came up and said, hey, can I get a picture with you guys? She goes, here, mister, can you take the picture? She handed the phone to him. And she goes, are you on the team? And I was like, come on, man. But hey, we believe in ourselves.
Come on, man.
I know I said Marcus was the best player on the floor last game. Ben Richardson was the best player on the floor tonight.
That great.
Yeah.
So somebody asked, hey, what's your name? Are you on the team? Yeah. Can you take a picture with me in the hot basketball
That's
player
us.
here?
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that great?
keeps you humble. So fourth 11 seed to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, they've won 14 in a row, so that's good.
But so you'll recall the previous 11 seeds.
Oh, can you
go ahead?
George Mason.
Who is the coach?
I don't know, but it was in 2006.
Jim Larenga.
Okay.
Who, interestingly, now
VCU.
coaches.
Sorry.
Now coaches the University of Miami, who Loyola beat in the first round.
Okay. VCU.
Who is the coach? Shaka Smart, who now coaches Texas.
Did you say Shaka Khan?
Shaka Smart.
Did you say
Shaka Smart?
Shaka
Smart. Let me wreck it.
Like Shaka Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's another school. Oh.
You have to go way back machine.
Oh, 1996, and
No.
it was. Yeah, I know.
10 years earlier.
1986.
Yes.
Thank you, because 1996 minus 10 is 1986.
Correct.
Gosh, where's my blog? Ew.
I'll give you a hint. The coach is Dale Brown.
Oh wow, that just seals it.
I'll
for
give
me.
you another hint.
Give me another hint. What conference?
The home of the greatest college basketball player in the history of college basketball, Pistol Pete Maravich.
Pistol Pete, and he had the Pistol Pete's, the basketball tapes that you gave me.
Yeah,
to
homework
teach me
basketball.
Homework basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
LSU.
Oh.
LSU.
Dang it! I knew that.
And all three of those previous 11 seeds lost in the Final Four.
So if they win, even if they get to the finals, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be the first 11 seed.
Because Loyola can beat Michigan. They could definitely do this.
I mean,
no,
the way they're
can't.
playing, they're playing great team basketball, so anything's possible. It's a tough matchup for them. The thing about this Loyola, it's not like it's a small school, relatively speaking, right? I mean, Butler went to the championship game 2 years in a row. They've had like 5,000 kids.
5,000 kids. We have about
16,000.
Oh, really?
At Loyola.
But a lot of them are commuters.
It's true. It's true. I mean, it's a great story.
But still,
it's fun.
I mean, just reliving all the points scored.
In the corner, Richardson. Yes! Down by double digits. Richardson.
And they're so humble. And yesterday they had rally at the Gentile Center, big homecoming. And I told my ex-husband, I'm like, take the boys there. That would be so cool. It's open to the public, open to the students. I don't know if they went, but I think that'd be a great time. And that's when your guy, Mosier, thanked everybody.
Porter Mosier, not Peter Mosier.
Porter, I didn't call him Peter.
Dave Stewart. Come on, a little respect. Come on, man.
Here's Coach Mosier.
This group on stage is what's right about college basketball. They're high character, they're unselfish, and I tell you what, this could be an unbelievable ride and journey for our university, but now it's an unbelievable ride for our country.
Yeah. And then he didn't say it, but I'll say it for him. Take that, Illinois State. Oh, you didn't think I was good enough to coach at Illinois State?
Oh, they passed him up at Illinois State?
No, they fired him. He coached at Illinois State, then he was an assistant for Majerus, and then he got this gig.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I met Rick Majerus when he coached at Ball State.
Yeah.
Because my high school first love played basketball
then
for
Utah,
Ball
and
State.
then St.
Yeah,
Louis.
then I went to Utah, and then I went to St. Louis. And died, which was...
How you like me now, Redbirds?
Well,
huh?
Here's the thing, though. I'm afraid he's going to leave Loyola because his contract's up after this year.
Yeah, well, of course he's going to leave Loyola.
What do you mean?
Go to a better program. Did I tell you Shaka Smart took
Shaka Khan?
VCU, and then he went to Texas. And Jim Larenga was at George Mason, then he had Final Four. Then he went to Miami. And then Porter Mosier, and then he's going to go somewhere big.
Where's he going to go?
I don't know.
Maybe University of Iowa? A
Yeah.
real basketball program. Now, I know they didn't make the tournament this year or the NIT, but next year.
Well, speaking of University of Iowa, there's three things this show is known for, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
One, my boyish charms, obviously. Two, proving that University of Iowa grads are employable.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And three is institutional memory. And how about this little gem I dug up?
Okay. On your phone?
Sister Jean.
Oh.
Tribune, June 7th, 1971. Yeah. Graduation week starts in schools. The largest ceremony yesterday was Mundelein College's graduation of 295. The ceremony, which was preceded by the traditional march across the campus, featured an address by Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt, the school's academic dean.
Oh.
So maybe Sister Jean has one more commencement address in her this year, 2018 at Loyola.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Wouldn't
and the bobblehead dolls are coming out. They're back ordered. They'll be in June. And I heard rumblings on CNN this morning that they might have a Nike basketball shoe after Sister Jean.
Okay.
Would you?
Well, that'll be interesting. Posturepedic?
But here's the thing. So there's going to be a movie, obviously, about the Loyola Ramblers. Maybe they'll show some shots of Bennett Academy. Oh, yeah, it'll be a basketball movie. For Move Over Hoosiers, this is going to be on the big screen. But who's going to play Sister Jean? I was thinking Meryl Streep, maybe Helen Mirren. What do you think? 312-642-5600. Who would play Sister Jean in the movie called The Ramblers or a movie called Loyola or God's Back in Basketball? Because it could be one of those, the guys who made Courageous and all those Christian films. They should make a film about Loyola Ramblers.
Yeah, well,
in this season.
They'd have to win it to even contemplate it.
They've already won. They made it to the Final Four.
This is the fourth 11 seed to do it.
Oh, yeah, I know. They'll beat Michigan. Michigan's beatable.
This is not.
Who's going to play Coach Moser?
Milan. Gene Hackman, obviously.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM.
Make fun of Quinn
Don't
McCarthy.
ever make fun of Quinn McCarthy again. He's the only one who's got a Final Four team left. He's got Kansas, and he's in last place.
After 5 p.m., and the temperature is going to get warmer throughout the day, a high near 50, but that'll be in the evening. Tonight, showers mainly, low of 46. And then Tuesday, showers before 1 p.m., cloudy with a high near 57. Wow, warm degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. I know CPS is off this week. A lot of suburban schools. Is there any traffic on the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Yes, there is, but it's fairly light so far. We'll keep an eye on that, so we could have lighter commutes throughout this week. We'll see. Of course, crashes factor into that. Right now in the inbound Kennedy, there's a stall at Division, but it's not causing any delay. 20 minutes either way. That's the travel time between O'Hare and downtown. Not seeing any delays yet on westbound 190 approaching O'Hare, but we'll keep an eye on that. We often do at this hour on a Monday morning. Eden's clear. Eisenhower inbound. The exit to Racine is closed now for long-term construction, and there's a left lane closure from Ogden into the Burn Circle, so we will expect more congestion there. The work is scheduled till late in 2019. The other expressways and tollways right now, no issues to report, except a little road work on the outbound ride at 87th, still scheduled till 6 this morning. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Spearphishing has or will strike your business, wreaking havoc on your employees, brand, and your bottom line. Spearphishing can't be stopped by traditional email security solutions because messages appear to be legitimate from your boss, a trusted colleague, or a vendor asking you to wire money, confirm login credentials, or worse. Barracuda Sentinel is artificial intelligence for real-time spearphishing and cyber fraud defense. Reclaim your email in minutes with zero impact on network performance. Visit barracuda.com/AI.
At CVS Pharmacy at Target, we put a little extra heart into everything we do, like actively looking to save you money. Generics, 90-day refills, even rewards. Get a $5 Target coupon for every 10 prescriptions. On your next Target run, stop by CVS Pharmacy. We're the place with the big heart. Not valid on all prescriptions, including those purchased in Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. Other restrictions apply. See cvs.com/extracare-target or the pharmacy for details. CVS Pharmacy at Target. Health is everything.
When I hear realtors boast about servicing a 3-county area or selling a home every 15 minutes, I think, what level of service could their clients possibly be getting? This is Chris Jacobs with Century 21 affiliated in Inverness, and my message is a little bit different. If being a realtor for more than 20 years has taught me one thing, it's that all real estate is local. While I can't say I'm the #1 realtor in the country, I can tell you that over the past 10 years, I've sold more homes in Inverness than anyone else. My team specializes in Inverness, Palatine, and Arlington Heights. We pride ourselves on providing our clients exceptional customer service and local market knowledge. So if you're selling your home or looking to purchase a property in our area, then call me, Chris Jacobs, at 847-401-4859. That's 847-401-4859. Or visit us at chrisjacobshomes.com.
Each office independently owned and operated, an equal housing opportunity. Presentation is everything. If you don't have a great way to convey your message to clients, you may have lost half the battle. You need the right system and equipment for your conference and training rooms. Before you get overwhelmed and freak out over the latest technology, consult with Fathom Media. Fathom Media is a systems design specialist that will help bring your conference or boardroom into the 21st century and deliver presentations that cut through. From pre-design all the way through training you how to use and maintain your new system and equipment, Fathom Media is committed to your success, and it's more affordable than you may think. Communicating to clients, employees, and even customers doesn't have to be complicated. From business applications to churches and schools, Fathom Media will deliver your message using the latest and most effective technology for audio, video conferencing, interactive video walls, smartboards, kiosks, digital signage, and more. Choose Fathom Media. For a free design technology consultation, go to fathommedia.com. fathommedia.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Text from 773, who would play Sister Jean? She'd have to play younger, but Olivia de Havilland is my choice.
Ooh.
It's a great choice. I don't believe she's still with us. Is Olivia de Havilland? I don't believe she's still with us.
I think she's gone to a better place, hanging out with Rick Majerus. And
But
where's Shaka Khan?
She was great in The Heiress, though. Did you ever see The Heiress with her and Montgomery Clift? Oh, good stuff.
Where Shaka, the coach Shaka?
Shaka Smart.
Shaka Smart.
Shaka Smart.
Where is Shaka Smart now?
University of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cashed out. That's what you do when you take an unheralded team to the Final Four. Porter Mosier, looking good.
I love that. You know what?
Agent.
God is back in basketball. That's what I love.
Yeah.
And I love seeing people celebrating. So even though I know my pick, Duke, is out of the Final Four, I find solace and comfort in knowing that Loyola is in the Final Four.
Well, that's the important thing.
And then I can't wait for them to beat Michigan because I used to live in Michigan. You know how you can tell that somebody went to Michigan?
They tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bingo. Or they're wearing a Michigan jersey.
That'll be interesting. Also this weekend, Saturday night, after Loyola scored their Final Four berth.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, what'd you do?
I ran and flipped a car over?
Observed Earth Hour.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah,
you
They're
observed Earth Hour.
Still doing that.
The
right?
11th annual Earth Hour this past Saturday evening to celebrate Dimwittery. This was, yet again, for the 11th consecutive year, the winner of Earth Hour, North Korea. This is where you take an hour off of using electricity to save the planet.
Oh, that's right.
So how did you all celebrate? 312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA turnkey.pro text line. Shouldn't say celebrate, I should say observe.
Observe.
Thoughtfully, soberly observe Earth Hour and shut it all down.
I know that they turned off the lights at the Eiffel Tower. And they turned off the light around significant buildings, well-known buildings around the world.
So important.
Personally, I think I sat this one out by accident. I did after the game turn my lights off because I went to bed. Does that count?
Sure, we'll give that to you. Now, interestingly, in response to the asshattery of the Earth Hour folks, the Competitive Enterprise Institute has introduced Human Achievement Hour. Human Achievement Hour, 8:30 to 9:30 in your time zone on Saturday night. Human Achievement Hour, the counter to Earth Hour, how to celebrate. Share your favorite human achievement or innovation that makes your life easier. Yeah, so they did a little counter to that, which was nice. It's a good write-up. This is several years ago now. But Ross McKittrick, who's an economist in the Great White North there, the strange Brewland, Canada, he wrote in 2009, I abhor Earth Hour. Abundant cheap. Abhor.
Oh.
Abhor. Despise.
You said, I'm a whore during Earth Hour.
I'm a whore for Earth Hour. Well, everybody observes it differently.
Hello.
Yeah. I abhor, not am a whore. We'll get to her in a minute.
Oh.
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, those are real.
I abhor Earth Hour. Abundant, cheap electricity has been the greatest source of human liberation in the 20th century. Every material social advance in the 20th century depended on the proliferation of inexpensive and reliable electricity. Given women the freedom to work outside the home depended on the availability of electrical appliances that free up time from domestic chores. Getting children out of menial labor and into schools depended on the same thing, as well as the ability to provide safe indoor lighting for reading. Development and provision of modern health care without electricity is absolutely impossible. Expansion of our food supply, and so on. Anyone who wants to see local conditions improve in the third world should realize the importance of access to cheap electricity from fossil fuel-based power generating stations. That's how the West developed. So, yeah, the demonization of electricity and technological advancement through making sources of power cheap and accessible is idiocy. And I guess that's maybe why Earth Hour hasn't taken hold.
No.
Darkness hasn't taken hold except in totalitarian states like North Korea.
What have you done for Earth Hour? What did you do Saturday, for Earth Hour?
Well, I was drinking and smoking in a lighted facility.
What else?
Yeah.
Blaring loud music.
As I celebrate every
Kept
Earth
all
Hour.
the lights on in your condo. Remember, Cisco Cotto used to work here, and he, for Earth Hour, he thought it was so ridiculous that he actually turned on all his lights for an hour. Turned on his front porch light, turned down the home light. I mean, if I have that, my memory serves me correctly, I remember him doing that. I thought, what a little agitator.
Yeah.
He's going to show Mother Earth.
I mean, obviously, if we weren't drawing attention to this, you would know because you weren't paying attention to this. But it just is interesting to remind you, the unhinged, silly left. These are the same people that brought us the hockey stick. These are the same people that can figure out if the planet is going to burn up or another ice age is imminent. So they just virtue signaling, though, and the virtue signaling at the nation state level. And again, the darkest places on earth, where people are oppressed, and that's to be celebrated, right? Go look at that heat map of North Korea.
Oh.
Okay, all right. Well, just wanted to make sure that you observed those who observed Earth Hour to separate the ignorant from the enlightened, if you will.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Breaking news, Donald Trump is a cad at 5:38.
Yeah, I got more hype than the Super Bowl, but did it deliver? We're taking your phone calls, and you'll hear from her in case you missed the big interview. 642-5600. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Dave Stewart filling in for Mike Scott. Good morning.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. It's 30 degrees in Chicago at 5:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Cloudy, breezy, milder with a high of 51 today. Adult film actress Stormy Daniels says she was threatened to remain silent about her alleged affair with Donald Trump.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." And then he was gone.
Daniels told CBS 60 Minutes that she was going to sell her story about the alleged affair with President Trump 10 years ago. The president has denied the affair happened. U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer says he wants his colleagues to vote on gun control legislation by the end of April.
I am demanding that Leader McConnell put those bills on the floor of the Senate, and that Speaker Ryan put those bills on the floor of the House, and let the American people speak.
He spoke at a rally in Manhattan Sunday. No one's in custody after a drive-by shooting on the west side of Chicago that wounded 2 men. Police say the victims were shot yesterday in the 4200 block of West Van Buren. Both victims were in the hospital, one's in fair condition, the other in good condition. Man's facing murder charges after a deadly home invasion last week on the south side. Police say Benjamin Williams and another person entered a home Friday in the 100 block of East 37th Place. While they were inside, they shot and killed Peggy Goodman, stabbed another woman 3 times. Williams was arrested. The other suspect remains at large. Chicago police are working to reunite victims with an estimated $1 million worth of stolen high-end construction equipment and tools seized from a massive fencing ring, including generators, snow blowers, and power tools. Police are cutting some of the red tape in the hopes victims will come forward to claim their stolen things. 45-year-old Norma Argueta of Maywood was arrested after police discovered more than 400 pieces of commercial-grade equipment and tools worth at least $1 million. In Des Plaines, police say 3 people were killed and 2 people were injured last night in a crash involving 2 vehicles just after 6 at Rand Road and Gulf Road. In sports, Cactus League baseball, Cubs over the Royals 5-3 in their final spring season game. White Sox over the Brewers 16-1. Sox take on the Charlotte Knights in Charlotte today. In the NHL, Blackhawks host the San Jose Sharks. Final 4 matchups, of course, are set. Kansas meets Villanova Saturday, and Loyola Chicago will face Michigan. News and service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. AM 560 News Time 5:33. A check of traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560. The Answer.
Mike Gallagher explains why Trump's approval rating is going up.
Phony, plastic, fake politicians just read scripts. They're not real. They're not authentic. This is what is so appealing to so many people about President Trump. His authentic delivery, his authentic self.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
If you still haven't purchased the very best pillow, of course I'm talking about MyPillow, the 4-pack deal is back. So I strongly urge you to go online or call now to make sure you take advantage of this great deal. A great night's sleep is so important, so give yourself the gift of a great night's sleep by ordering a MyPillow. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. I love that I can move the fill to get the support I need, regardless if I sleep on my back or side. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. And MyPillow is made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201. promo code Amy.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
At 5:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. At O'Hare and housing delays on westbound 190 River Road to the Tri-State. Traffic's getting a little congested on the outbound Kennedy approaching 190. Inbound Kennedy remains clear. The Edens is fine. On Eisenhower, traffic is slow from Ashland into the Burns Circle. There's a left lane closure now from Ogden to the Circle for long-term construction. Already got a 2-minute delay there on the inbound Ike. Also, the exit to Racine is closed till late 2019. Bound Stevenson tight sister from Central to Kedzie. It's about a 4-minute delay now. Inbound Ryan, you've got a 3-minute delay. Cermak to Burns Circle. Bishop Ford, a 3-minute delay. Stony Island feeder to Merge. Tollways are good. Traffic, service of Firestone Complete Auto Care. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care through April 2nd. Get $60 on a Visa prepaid card by mail. Purchase a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Restrictions and exclusions apply. Visit driveafirestone.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. Cloudy, breezy, milder today with a high of 51. This evening, cloudy and breezy with periods of rain, a low of 45. Rain in the morning tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 57. Right now, 31 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. And in case you were wondering, Olivia de Havilland is alive and she's 101. More of Chicago's Morning Answer now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. So are you just going to move on, or are you going to do something about this bankrupting of America? We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Dan and Amy, Dave Stewart, correct. Olivia de Havilland is still alive. Sorry we put her in the grave before her time. 101 years old. Good for her.
Well, she could play. She's only 3 years older than Sister Jean.
True.
So now's the time. If they're going to make the movie called The Ramblers, they should do it within the next 6 months.
Doris Day is also alive.
Betty White. Ooh,
Betty White also
I
alive.
just got the chills.
Yeah.
But what about Coach Moser? And then maybe they can show some shots of Bennett. Huh?
Yeah.
Who would play
casting
him?
for the Loyola movie.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner as
Coach Moser.
I
mean, he's a little short, but you know what? He's good. He's captivating. Or Dennis Quaid.
I mean, it
He's
can't
like
be Josh
religious
Lucas
movies.
because he did a terrible job as Don Haskins in Glory Road.
Oh,
that was a bad movie.
Well, I
Just
love
that
that
they just didn't
movie,
do a good
though.
job.
No, they didn't do a good job. But
It's a great story. It just was not a
I
particularly
loved
good basketball
Coach
movie.
Haskins. We used to drink whiskey and Coke
Together
on Thursdays in El Paso. A non sequitur Monday.
Okay.
Well, no, we were but have you ever met Coach Haskins?
I never did meet Coach Haskins. He has passed.
I know that he died.
Yeah.
Yes,
I just want to keep the
yeah,
scorecard
but he was
clean here.
he was a great man, smart basketball mind. I learned everything I know from Coach Haskins.
Yeah, who else could play?
Who else?
Porter Moser.
And who would play Ben Richardson and Dante?
Yes.
I mean, we need.
You got to cast the whole
We gotta
team.
cast
No,
the
I
whole
got it. Maybe you could do like a Clint Eastwood. You could actually have some of the players play themselves,
Oh.
like he did in the Marine movie.
Oh yeah, did you see that movie?
No, yeah.
Oh, man. I want to see it.
Okay, moving on to Stormy Daniels, her big 60-minute sit-down with Anderson Cooper yesterday. She and Gloria Vanderbilt's kid, dished on Trump. And it's sort of the same conversation we had last week about Playboy playmate Karen McDougal. So what's the point again?
I know. That's the first question out of the box. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? You're risking millions of dollars.
For sitting here talking to me today, you could be fined $1 million. I mean, aren't you taking a big risk?
I am.
I guess I'm not 100% sure on why you're doing this.
Because it was very important to me to be able to defend myself.
Is part of talking wanting to set the record straight?
100%.
Why does the record need to be set straight?
Because people are just saying whatever they wanted to say about me. I was perfectly fine saying nothing at all. But I'm not okay with being made out to be a liar or people thinking that I did this for money. And people are like, oh, you're an opportunist. You're taking advantage of this. Yes, I'm getting more job offers now. But tell me one person who would turn down a job offer making more than they've been making, doing the same thing that they've always done.
A lot of people are using you for a lot of different agendas.
They're trying to. Like, oh, Stormy Daniels comes out, #MeToo. This is not a Me Too.
And she repeatedly said, I am not a victim. And they tried, Me Too movement tried to hijack me. And I'm not. This was a consensual one-night stand, essentially, that they had. And it began with President Trump, or then Donald Trump. This is 2006.
I'm not a victim. I'm a prostitute.
Well,
that's what she's right.
No, she was just.
She didn't say that.
No,
she just described it.
I found her very surprising. I found her very likable, which sounds crazy.
Oh no! This is the Pretty Woman all over again. The prostitute with the heart of gold.
Well, when she went to his hotel room, she knew exactly what she was getting into. She was 27 years old at the time. He was 60. She said she was not sexually attracted to him at all. He kept talking about himself for hours, never asking her any questions about herself. So she changed the conversation.
And so I was like, does this normally work for you? And he looked very taken back, like he didn't really understand what I was saying. Like, does just, talking about yourself normally work? And I was like, someone should take that magazine and spank you with it. And I'll never forget the look on his face. And he was like,
what was the look?
Just, I don't think anyone's ever spoken to him like that, especially, a young woman who looked like me. And I said, give me that. And I just remember him going, you wouldn't. Hand it over. And so he did. And I was like, turn around, drop him.
You told Donald Trump to turn around and take off his pants?
Yes.
And did he?
Yes. So he turned around and pulled his pants down a little. He had underwear on and stuff, and I just gave him a couple swats.
This was done in a joking manner?
Yes. And from that moment on, he was a completely different person.
How so?
He quit talking about himself, and he asked me things, and I asked him things, and it just became, like, a more appropriate.
Became more comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's like,
well,
wow.
discipline. Put a bit of stick about.
You are special. You remind me of my daughter. He's like, you're smart, beautiful, and a woman to be reckoned with. I like you. I like you.
So she had sex
with the magazine. He was on the cover of the magazine.
Yeah,
she was spanking him with.
Right. So she had sex with him for giggles, and so what? So now that she set the record straight, okay.
Well, the problem is that he didn't sign that non-disclosure agreement, so she wants to get out of it because there's more.
She just did.
Well, she did, but in 2011, this happened in 2006. She tried to sell her story to In Touch magazine for $15,000. They did do the interview. She was never paid for the interview, Dan. And when she was shopping the story around, she was approached while she was outside of her gym and was threatened. Well, actually, they threatened her daughter.
I was in a parking lot going to a fitness class with my infant daughter. I was taking, the seats facing backwards in the back seat, diaper bag, getting all the stuff out. And a guy walked up on me and said to me, leave Trump alone, forget the story. And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, it's a beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom. And then he was gone.
You took it as a direct threat?
Absolutely. I was rattled. I remember going into the workout class and my hands were shaking so much I was afraid I was going to drop her.
Did you ever see that person again?
No. But if I did, I would know it right away. I'll never forget.
You'd be able to recognize that person?
100%. Even now, all these years later. If he walked in the store right now, I would instantly know.
Did you go to the police?
No,
Why?
because I was scared.
So fast forward then, 2016, and she signed this agreement where she was paid $130,000.
Was it hush money to stay silent?
Yes. The story was coming out again. I was concerned for my family and their safety.
I think some people watching this are going to doubt that you entered into this negotiation because you feared for your safety. They're going to think that you saw an opportunity.
I think the fact that I didn't even negotiate, I just quickly said yes to this very, strict contract, and what most people will agree with me, extremely low number, is all the proof I need.
You feel like if you had wanted to go public, you could have gotten paid a lot of money to go public in an
Without
interview.
a doubt, I know for a fact. I believe without a shadow of a doubt in my heart, and some people argue that I don't have one of those, but whatever, that I was doing the right thing. I turned down a large payday multiple times because, one, I didn't want to kiss and tell and be labeled all the things that I'm being labeled now. I didn't want to take away from the legitimate and legal, I'd like to point out, career that I've worked very hard to establish. And most importantly, I did not want my family and my child exposed to all the things that she's being exposed to right now.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
everything that I was afraid of coming out
it's real.
has come out anyway. And guess what? I don't have $1 million.
She's definitely
You didn't even buy
protecting
me
her
breakfast.
child.
And
Definitely.
she even said at the end, you didn't even buy me breakfast.
Yeah, it's hilarious. She's a porn star. She's really concerned about her 7-year-old daughter and going public. So let me just understand the argument here. And this is not a defense of Trump because he's
He's denied that he had an affair with her.
It's not a defense of Trump because he's a moral reprobate, and that was known going into this. So I didn't have blinders on. No scales are falling from my eyes. As I said, breaking news, Donald Trump's a cad. No kidding. Does it excuse it? No. But Stormy Daniels' argument, I mean, this is where we are now. We actually have to parse the arguments of a porn star, prostitute named Stormy Daniels. I did what's right in my heart. I have the moral high ground here because I cashed out for less than I could have. Explain.
Well,
Explain the distinction.
Why? So here, why did you sign it? You could have made more. Why didn't you just make more?
Why did you sign it?
Because they made it sound like I had no choice.
I mean, no one was putting a gun to your head.
Not physical violence, no.
You thought that there would be some sort of legal repercussion if you didn't sign it.
Correct. As a matter of fact, the exact sentence used was, they can make your life hell in many different ways.
Yeah, I mean, this is all just a mess, obviously, because she's a mess, and Trump's personal life has been a mess for 30 years. So, of course, this is a mess. She's a moron. She's a prostitute. She is trying to game the system. She said during the interview when she was, guffawing about sleeping with Trump just 'cause that, the idea of, his promises of putting me on Apprentice, did that factor in? Sure it did.
Well, so they had the one night stand, and then a few months later, she kept checking in with Trump, like, "Hey, did I get that slot on Celebrity Apprentice?" And she met him at a Beverly Hills hotel room where he said, "Come on in, I'll let you know."
I remember arriving, and he was watching Shark Week. He made me sit and watch an entire documentary about shark attacks.
It wasn't, at that point, a business meeting. It was just watching Shark Week.
Yeah.
And they did not have sex. And when she said, "Well, what's my status on Celebrity Apprentice?" he said, I don't know. I'll get back to you. And so she left.
Alex in West Dundee. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan. When someone has a career, it's something they say, I would like my daughter to do what I do, so I wouldn't really call her job a career like she does.
Mm-hmm.
And the porn star, can we call it what it is, a porn pig? I mean, a star is a basketball star, a football star. But, I mean, a porn star, how did they use the word star? I mean, that's just unbelievable.
That's a fair point. Thanks for the call, Alex.
You know what? I don't know how porn star evolved, but everybody in porn is a porn star, right?
I think
never heard of porn B-lister.
I think Alex is a little closer. Do you think? Do you think of Ron Jeremy and do you think star? No, you don't, because they're animals. is what they are.
Well, knowing that she was a porn star, President Trump, or she said she didn't use a condom, but that's so gross. We don't even want to play that.
Do we have to play everything, every utterance of Stormy Daniels? It's a little bit ridiculous.
But about Melania, I mean, she knew darn well that she was being a homewrecker, and Stormy Daniels didn't really seem to care.
Melania Trump had recently given birth to a son just a few months before. Did he mention his wife or child at all in this?
I asked, and he brushed it aside, said, oh, yeah, don't worry about that. We have separate rooms and stuff.
Did you two go out for dinner that night?
No.
You don't want to hear the rest. But she knew darn well that he was married, and she knew what she was doing.
Right. So this somehow has, perhaps, I guess, I don't know. I mean, the politics and the culture today. Does this reduce Trump's moral capital?
No.
To the extent he had any? Does it elevate her or the others?
The only thing I like is her attorney, Michael Avenatti, who is because you mentioned politics. He's known for having a Chicago connection.
In college, in law school, you did opposition research for Democratic political operative Rahm Emanuel. Some people looking at that will say you're politically motivated.
I haven't done anything in politics in over 20 years.
So he was just saying that.
Except he released the disc pic over the weekend, to kind of tease the interview to try and make this more salacious and gin up, I don't know, a bigger, better payoff for Stormy Daniels and her burgeoning career. You know what she's known for, as I understand it, from some of these accounts I had to read because she's, because she was elevated by 60 Minutes. You know what she's known for?
What?
Like I can say this, if you have
want to tell me
children listening, you may want to turn off the radio, but she's known for the money shot.
Oh.
That's what she's known for. Did she tell that to her 7-year-old daughter? Is that what she's going to explain to her 7-year-old daughter about this is what mommy does? But she's concerned about people saying stuff about her in the political arena. She wanted to set the record straight. Who was talking about her? Who was talking about her before she came forward?
Nobody.
I mean, people trying to get her to come forward, but like we were obsessing about Stormy Daniels and whether or not she's a good person or not.
The bottom line is the people who support Trump are still supporting Trump after this interview, and the people who hated Trump before this interview still hate President Trump.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It's Dan Proft, and I'm excited to tell you about the Dangerous Camp for Boys and over 20 other summer camps from Northridge Prep. What's Dangerous Camp? It's a camp designed to get your boys off their iPads, iPhones, and video games this summer. It's dangerously fun, not unsafe. They throw water balloons, play games, and learn the meaning of outdoor adventure. As a listener to the morning show, you've heard me talk about Northridge Prep, the all-boys school in Niles that instills the traditional values you hold as parents. Their summer programs for boys in grades 1 through 8 combine fun, adventure, and character growth. You won't find camps like this anywhere else. A few camps caught my eye, like basketball camps led by a former NCAA Division I coach and varsity players, Battles of the Civil War, Bugs and Botany, Intro to Musical Improv, even a robotics camp where campers learn to build, pilot, and code their own robots. Get your son off the couch and into the outdoors. You can learn more and register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
There's nothing quite as euphoric as getting a beautiful, well-rested, good night's sleep, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, I'm sure you'll go ahead and look it up. But getting that good night's sleep, my goodness, you feel invigorated. All you got to do is go to Zeepa.com. Zeepa eliminates the snoring. You put it in your mouth, it gets rid of the snoring, and you got that euphoric, beautiful night's sleep. What you need to do is go to Zeepa.com. That's ZYPPAH.com.
Why do we call it small business? Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the big, bulky behemoths business? Ooma Office, the small business phone solution, has a virtual receptionist to direct calls to the right extension and a mobile app to help you answer while away from the office. About all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95 a month. Visit Ooma.com, that's OOMA, or call 866-649-9377 to find out more. Ooma, the phone your small business deserves.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. The main thing we learned from the 3,000-plus school walkouts that occurred and those already being planned for April 20 is who's in charge of K-12 education in America. And that should frighten you more than your average 18-year-old with a rifle or a violent video game. Those pillaging America's schools like Malcolm McDowell and his droogs in A Clockwork Orange are in charge of our schools, not attending them. It's zero tolerance on the one hand and tolerance of everything, including thuggery, on the other. If you're a white kid who scrawls the square root sign evoking a gun on a math assignment, then bring in Jack Bauer and put him on the clock. If you're a minority kid, say in Parkland, Florida, you can threaten to shoot up your school and no one will say anything. Under the guise of racial equity, schools are moving to remove disciplinary consequences for certain students and take discretion away from law enforcement in the process. Neither are teachers immune from the imposition of leftist orthodoxy. Just ask the California teacher put on administrative leave for hazarding a thoughtful discussion with her class about the politics of protests ahead of the walkout. With the politics being pushed on their kids, now is a good time for more parents to wake up and walk into their kids' schools for a healthy stop, look, and listen.
Hey, Radioland, Ken here from Income Store. Did you know making money is like a combination lock? If you know the numbers and the proper order of the numbers, it has to open. The lock doesn't know or care if you're 8 or 80 years old. It has to open. Making money is the same way. When you know the steps and know the right order for the steps, revenue generation has to happen. As we like to say at Income Store, if you know the steps to take and you take the steps, revenue will be created. For close to a decade, we have proved to thousands of households and businesses that adding an additional revenue stream is not magic or luck. Both Forbes and Inc. praise Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to creating revenue for a home or business. If you'd like to see exactly how anyone from a teenager with more time than money to an executive with more money than time can add a revenue stream to their home or business, just open one of the 2 entry doors you'll find at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Every business needs great people, and the better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter revolutionized hiring. Their technology finds great candidates for you. No wonder 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. For a limited time, get $50 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center now, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Traffic is heavy at O'Hare on westbound 190. Seeing delays in that area from the Kennedy Expressway to the Tri-State. And on the outbound Kennedy now, it's a little bit heavy. Lawrence to Sayre, looking at 25 minutes downtown to O'Hare. And before you get to that point, at Belmont, crash just reported blocking the left lane. But Kennedy's okay. Eden's looking good. About Eisenhower, heavy Kedzie to the Burn Circle with new roadwork in the left lane starting at Ogden. 39 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, heavy First Avenue to Kedzie. Already 49 minutes, 355 for the drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Issue 4, 19 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Traffic, service of Staples. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner. Find your ink in stock every time and at a low price. Every day, so you can meet every deadline. Staples, it's pro time. That's traffic on AM 560.
Now your forecast for a Monday. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Clouds increase today with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon and through the night. We'll have a high today 51. Periods of rain tonight with a low 45. Temperatures rising into the middle 50s overnight. Little morning rain for tomorrow. Otherwise cloudy, high 57. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
33 degrees at the lakefront and Midway. 31 degrees now at O'Hare. AM 560 news time 5:59. In the news, authorities are trying to determine what caused a fire in Gary that killed a young brother and sister. That blaze broke out yesterday in an apartment building in the 5800 block of Forest Court. An 8-year-old boy jumped from the burning fourth floor into a blanket held by neighbors and survived. One man's dead after a crash on Chicago's far south side. Authorities say Christopher Cardenas was driving early yesterday when he lost control and hit a telephone pole near South Avenue O and 118th Street. Cardenas died at the scene. An off-duty Chicago police officer was wounded after an accidental shooting on the north side. Authorities say that happened last night in the Lincoln District Police Station when the weapon was accidentally fired inside the officer's personal vehicle. The victim suffered a graze wound to the leg. And no one's in custody after a drive-by shooting on Chicago's west side that left 2 men wounded. The news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's, you can save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. We'll see more of Chicago's Morning Answer coming up next, but right now it's time for Fox News. You're listening to WIND Chicago, where it's 33 degrees at 6 o'clock.
They had one sexual encounter 12 years ago. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Stormy Daniels tells CBS 60 Minutes.
I was perfectly fine saying nothing at all, but I'm not okay with being made out to be a liar.
The porn star says 5 years later, in 2011, she was threatened in a parking lot.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." And then he was gone.
Daniels did sign a non-disclosure agreement before the presidential election and was paid by President Trump's attorney. Now, there's a reaction from the attorney of the president's attorney. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The lawyer for President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, has sent adult film star Stormy Daniels a cease and desist letter demanding that she refrain from making what he called false and defamatory statements about him. The White House did not immediately comment on the Daniels interview, but spokeswoman Sarah Sanders has denied that any affair took place. Daniels received a $130,000 payment from Cohen shortly before the 2016 presidential election for her silence. Cohen claims the money was his. Daniels' attorney is trying to invalidate a non-disclosure agreement she signed. Dave?
John, a new Fox News poll gives the president slightly better numbers.
45% approve of his performance, up from 43% last month. But he is only getting more likes than dislikes on 2 issues, taxes and the economy. Respondents aren't pleased with his handling of issues like North Korea, immigration, and guns, where half or more disapprove.
Fox's Gernal Scott, a shopping mall went up in flames in the Siberia region of Russia. 64 people were killed, at least 10 were injured, including an 11-year-old boy who escaped the fire jumping out a 4th-floor window. His parents and younger brother died. 2 police officers shot and wounded last night in Austin, Texas. Both are stable. The gunman was later shot and killed. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer, your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
GoToMeeting is the collaborative meeting tool trusted by over 18 million monthly users. But how do we make the concept of 18 million more real for you? Well, if you wanted to travel 18 million miles, you could go to the moon and back 36 times and still have a few miles left over for a detour. $18 million could buy you 4.5 million non-fat iced lattes, which would keep you caffeinated from now until the end of your career. Or if you took 18 million standing desk breaks, well, you'd probably be in great shape. Visit GoToMeeting.com to learn why so many people trust us to help them get work done.
Are we ready to open next month?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's complicated. Fire protection, first aid supplies, uniforms, safety training, mat services. Oh, and restroom supplies.
So uncomplicated. Call Cintas. They'll handle all of it.
Wow, one company can handle all that? That's not very complicated.
So, you'll be ready?
Oh, we'll be ready.
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Latoria Brothers Construction Company is a proud sponsor of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Turn to Latoria Brothers Construction Company for all your commercial, industrial, or retail construction needs. New construction, renovations, interior remodeling, facility expansions, and tenant owner build-outs. Latoria Brothers Construction Company has you covered from start to finish. From design concept through construction completion, Latoria Brothers offers a single-source proactive approach. Their family has been providing a high level of excellence in service, reliability and experience since 1948. Latoria Brothers. They'll modify services to accommodate your construction needs no matter what size and scope. Consulting, design, build, construction management, general contracting. Achieve your vision and dream for your facility. Save time and money. Make Latoria Brothers part of your construction team. Quality workmanship on time, on budget. Visit LatoriaConstruction.com or call 630-766-3036. Latoria Brothers, shaking hands, not fists.
In business, you need smart storage solutions. For over 50 years, Bradford Systems has been the company Chicago turns to, specializing in commercial storage, filing systems, document management solutions, casework, and locker systems. Whether it's working with you to incorporate better storage elements into a historic building, creating a completely new workspace for your business, or even digitizing paper documents, Bradford Systems is there every step of the process. Their experienced digital solutions team will support your enterprise content management and business process outsourcing initiatives. Bradford Systems guarantees you'll have the exact storage solution you need, within budget and completed on time. Learn more at bradfordsystems.com or call 800-580-9151. That's 800-580-9151. Bradford Systems is a proud supporter of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Let Bradford Systems show you and your business smart storage solutions. Call now for a free consultation. 800-580-9151.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The Stars were out in D.C. over the weekend for the March for Gun Confiscation. We'll get to that in just a minute. Quickly, Michael in Lake Forest, you had a final thought on Stormy Daniels?
Well, I think she sized things up just before the election and took as much money as she could get, figuring Trump would lose. That's why she didn't get more out of it.
Yeah, it could be. Well, it's good insight. Thanks for the call, Michael. I'm sure her attorney thought the same thing. She was represented by counsel at the time, just a different counsel.
Right. She signed it when she did the first deal for $130,000. It was a different attorney. But I am still so surprised that the Democrats or the DNC didn't get to Karen McDougal or Stormy Daniels before the election. You know, I mean, I know she signed the non-disclosure 11 days before the election, but I'm just surprised that they didn't get to her first to tell her story.
For what?
I don't know, to try and take down Trump.
Yeah, but
so you want a president who slept with a porn star, or you want a president who slept with a Playboy Playmate of the Year?
I'm sorry, how many women accused him of sexual misconduct during the election?
Oh, like 12 to 16, I think.
So Stormy Daniels was going to make any difference?
I don't know.
Karen McDougal was going to make any difference? It was built into the price, I would suggest. All right, so this March, David Hogg, this kid from Parkland, this will give you a little sense of it, and then you're going to hear at least one honest speech that was given. But first, David Hogg for the propaganda.
The cold grasp of corruption shackles the District of Columbia.
Ooh.
The winter is
Charles
over.
Dickens.
Change is here. The sun shines on a new day, and the day is ours. For the first-time voters show up 18% of the time in midterm elections. Not anymore. Now, who here is going to vote in the 2018 election? If you listen real close, you can hear the people in power shaking. They've gotten used to being protective of their position, choosing the safety of inaction. Inaction is no longer safe, and to that we say, no more.
Powerful. Bob Kraft let some of the kids use the New England Patriots team plane.
Saw that.
Saw Paul McCartney, Rodman, Spielberg, Clooney.
A lot of singers. Jennifer Hudson was there.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. The one. What's her name?
Fun.
Oh, come on. She had her
Who,
concert
what?
was bombed in in the UK.
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande was there performing. A lot of people, but
Lin Miranda. I saw Lin Miranda
yeah.
performing on stage.
Yep, he was there. But that
it's
hog...
like Lollapalooza. It's kind of fun,
Oh.
and without point, other than to have fun and just self-indulgence and silliness.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s granddaughter was there. She's 9.
My grandfather had a dream that his 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream that enough is enough.
I don't. Okay. By the way, I'm sorry, little girl. I'm sorry. You're at the wrong crowd. If you're not at the content, that's not the content of our character crowd. I'm sorry. That's the color of your skin crowd. That's the entire left. And by the way, just to be clear about this, dark money groups are set up. C4 is set up for this whole march so that you could have people give money, including celebrities who are obviously more open about it.
George
Clooney and others.
Oprah gave $500,000 each.
Right. So this is all. Do you understand? This is all left wing, anti-Republican. You saw it on the signs. This is all trying to keep the resistance momentum going into 2018. That's what this is really about. And they're just using these kids as shills for the left political agenda. That's obvious.
Well, can this movement produce any real change? I mean, what? Because I had people from my church went too, and it's like, what do you want? What's the point? Were there mixed messages there? And you know what? I give them credit for going. It was important to them. They have, the First Amendment right to assemble. That's fine. That's what you choose to do. That's fine. But what was the message? And
the message
one
is,
of the congregants said,
the message is to vote Democrat and to ban guns.
Well, she said it was to stop school violence and to keep guns out of school. And I said, well, if there wasn't a gun in the school, that Maryland shooting, we have no idea how many he would have killed. But the school resource officer who had a weapon. And that question was brought up to David Hogg when he was on Good Morning America on Saturday, and he said this.
I had to relive a lot of the previous memories that I had from my school shooting. Everybody takes grief their own way, but for me it was more infuriating realizing that because that was a person with a gun, and in reality, were they taken out by law enforcement? Yes, and I'm so glad that they were. But they shouldn't have had to do that in the first place. It's due to a lack of in-training, a mental health care problem, a gun control problem, and an American problem is what we have here.
I mean, they give him so much airtime and a platform to just say, and he says what he thinks with assertiveness, and that's how it's going to be. Well, you know what? These are children. And you're right, a lot of them were used as tools, as propaganda tools.
All you have to do is look at the signs, the Marco Rubio, #NRA bitch. We call BS. Marco Rubio's blood on his hands. If we started a rumor that Obama invented the AR-15, Trump would ban it by the end of the week. Anti-Donald Trump. The only thing easier to buy than a gun is a Republican senator. On and on and on. This is astroturfing. This is mobilizing children for the left's political agenda, financed by the financiers of the left's political agenda. It is a gun confiscation. It is a Democrat Party production, period, full stop. That's what it is. That's where all the evidence suggests, and it's manifest. Read one article. Pay any attention to the coverage of what you've seen, what was on display there. This is not a close call. And, oh, by the way, those persons presenting any cognitive dissonance, including survivors of the Parkland shooting, well, they're completely marginalized. Kyle Kashuv, he's survived the Parkland shooting.
He was actually in Building 12.
And he wasn't invited to speak.
I was at the march itself, and I saw this extremely anti-GOP. One of the most biggest causes of this entire march is being anti-Republican. And we've seen that in the marches itself. A lot of the things that David Hogg has said are egregious and inflammatory. I don't think that the NRA has that much evil power that it's been putting on politicians. I don't. It's led by 5.5 million people who back it. And I really don't think that what David Hogg is saying right now is true. And I don't think what he's doing is positive for the American people. I think if he truly cared about the American people, he would sit down and he would talk to legislators and he would get all aspects of the discussion, and then he would act. Because what we see here, guns aren't the issue. Okay? It's everything surrounding acquiring a weapon.
Yeah, so that's Kyle Kashuv. You're not going to hear him other than on Fox. Also, Patrick Petty, who is the brother of Elena Petty, who was killed at Parkland. She was U.S. Army JROTC member,
Oh, yeah,
too.
that's right. With Peter Wang.
Hey, Emma Gonzalez, who's one of the other mouthpieces like David Hogg for the left coming out of Parkland. Hey, Emma Gonzalez, please stop using my sister's name to push your agenda. She did not and would not support it.
Ooh.
But you're not going to hear that viewpoint, that family's viewpoint, that brother of a victim's viewpoint elevated either. You're just going to hear, more from David Hogg.
So, I say to those politicians that say change will not come, I say we will not stop until every man, every woman, every child, and every American can live without fear of gun violence. And to that I say, no more. Thank you. I love you all. God bless all of you, and God bless America. We can and we will change the world.
And then he gave
Yeah, I saw that.
like
He gave-
Tommy Smith Black Power salute.
Yeah, they were doing everybody was doing that. After everybody spoke, this was the sign of, we're coming together, we're going to stop gun violence, we're going to take guns away. But it was weird because, they're sending a message to politicians, do something or else. None of these kids can even vote yet, but eventually they will be able to vote. So they're part of the process. They've gotten involved, it's a...
Yeah, okay.
Well...
Yeah, no.
No, and I asked my
super.
kids, you go to school every day. And Russell or Eli said, Mom, we go to school every day thinking that could happen, that there could be a school shooting. Yeah, that's their reality. That's not our reality when we were in school. I was just trying not to get beat up at recess.
Yeah. Well, those sentimental gun confiscation talking points don't go down that easy. You heard what David Hogg vomited it up. Samantha Fuentes literally vomited it up.
Oh, me in the eye.
I'm so close.
This is her speaking. This is going to I want to do like a Stand By Me where everybody starts vomiting. Still vomiting.
Audio in?
She's on stage. Yeah, they got the audio.
I thought I couldn't click on it because I thought it was so gross.
Yeah. And I want this blueberry pie chain reaction.
Justin.
I just threw up on international television, and it feels great.
See, clickbait. I saw that story, but I refrained because I can't stand that noise. And that,
What noise?
No,
This
please
noise?
don't. No,
What noise?
I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
I'm sorry, Samantha, Miss Fuentes, do you have something to say? Well, you're going to have to speak up. Uh-huh. No, I get your point. I hear what you're saying. All right.
Did anybody rush to her aid, or did they? Where'd she puke?
Rush for a bucket.
Bucket?
He's so anybody else gag reflex kicking in this
Yeah,
morning?
mine
312-642-5600. Which is more vomit inducing? David Hogg's remarks or Samantha Fuentes's?
I actually feel queasy right now.
Why?
Oh my
Because
God!
of this?
No, I'm not listening. I am not listening to that. You should not make people listen to that. Stop it! Stop, please. Ugh. God, you're annoying me. You never annoy me, but right now I feel sick.
Because of this?
Me in the eye.
What? She's just trying to speak her mind. Have her peace.
Stop.
Paul and New Lenox, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, great show. I was just wondering, I know you're a movie enthusiast, Dan. Remember that movie, The Killing Fields?
Cambodia.
Where they replaced real doctors with 13 and 14-year-olds, and same thing with the Hitler Youth Program, when they brainwashed all the youth in order to get what they needed to get. And it seems like it's going that direction. That's all I wanted to comment about.
Thanks for the call, Paul. And Amy, I'm going to run out and get something, maybe a pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray. Can I get you one?
Hey, stop that now.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them. right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
That is enough. Peyton and Eli and friends. Forecast for today. I seriously feel nauseous. A 10% chance of showers. Increasing clouds with a high near 50. It's going to get warmer as the day increases. It's 32 degrees right now, high of 50. Tonight, showers. Tomorrow, showers likely before 1 p.m. Otherwise, cloudy and a high near 57 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte. Make it stop.
Okay, we'll try to keep things on the rails. Just waiting to see if Justin's going to play anything in the meantime. Eden's outbound. A little heavy Montrose to Wilson. There's a crash there in the left lane. It's about a 5-minute delay on the outbound Eden's. Inbound, a little congestion in that area and also approaching the junction. Nothing too bad yet. Inbound Kennedy, heavy out of the River Road toll to Foster. It's 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, it's 30. There's a crash at Belmont to the left lane. It's heavy Lawrence to Sayre and approaching the airport. Additional delays on westbound 190. On Eisenhower, 45 minutes, 390 to downtown. The exit to Racine is closed now for long-term work. So is the left lane from Ogden into the circle. The outbound Ike still okay. Bound Stevenson at Pulaski. The left lane is blocked with some wood debris. So we're looking at 51 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Delay started First Avenue. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 18 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State heavy now from 87th to the 83rd Street toll. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Ever since I was little, I imagined owning a bakery. With hard work, I made it happen. But after this weekend's robbery, I realized that I need to protect my dream with security.
I've got a great answer for you. Alarm Detection Systems, your local family-owned business, understands the threats you might face. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 and find out how we can protect you. License number 127000143.
I'm worried that my employees are costing me a fortune every month in damaged or missing inventory. I'm not sure how to solve this problem or who to turn to.
Alarm Detection Systems installs video cameras that watch over your place of business, reduce loss, and increase profits with advanced security. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's adsalarm.com or 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was surprised at myself how much energy I had, and I'm doing 2 jobs, running around like a maniac, and I was able to handle it. Really, I'm like, wow, this stuff is really good. So, more than anything else, it just gave me the extra energy and the well-being, feeling of well-being that I don't think I would have without it.
Well, I take it every day, and I feel great. And my wife looks at me and says, how come you never get sick? And I do. It's because I take the fruits and veggies.
I just feel a lot better. My life is turning around. Everything is working for me.
It just helps me feel good. I just think the products are wonderful, and I take them every day. I just like it. It works.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of FJ Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. FJ Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships, and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we're talking about...
that wonderful March for Life, huh?
Yeah, talking about the spewage coming out of those kids at the March for...
No, please, honestly, no. I'm being serious. I might throw up here.
I know that's what I'm trying to do.
No.
Come on, it'll be fun.
No,
but then we can get your audio and we can compare it to Samantha Fuentes'.
No, she wins. I surrender to her.
I mean, for somebody who
I did.
dated a competitive eater, you would think this would be
Child's play. No,
Yeah,
I can't.
nothing.
I could do lots of. I could blood. I could do things. I can't do the vomit thing. I just.
Can I show you the blueberry pie vomit-a-thon
Okay, why
from
are you
Stand By
gonna-
Me?
No, see, I almost got sick when I watched Stand By Me in the theater in Mount Prospect back in the 80s. Or was it the 70s?
Surprised you have such a
Weeks,
delicate
I can't.
constitution.
Yeah.
Lynn in Glenview, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? And they're always squawking about the Republicans saying Trump being a Nazi. Didn't the Nazis organize the kids back in the 30s?
Yeah, Hitler
to start.
Hitler
yeah.
Youth. Yeah,
That's what they're doing now.
Thanks for the call, Lynn.
That they're not doing.
They're not doing what?
Well, I mean, organizing the kids.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to increase the base for their party. Yeah, and their party platform being they want to take guns away or they want to stop the sale of assault rifles.
Gun confiscation, and so they're using kids as propaganda tools.
Well, the kids are upset because the kids are getting killed in school.
Yeah,
and they're not safe at school.
That's
They're
actually
safe
not.
at a bank.
That's actually
They're
not the case. But okay, that's actually not the case statistically. We've discussed this. It's a lot of hysteria. I understand these terrible events, but that's just not the case.
Well,
Number
if my
one,
kid got killed by gun violence, I would be at that march. I would.
Okay.
Because I like all of them. I'm just saying, if like hypothetically, just because I would have to do something, and I don't know what it is, and I don't think a lot of the people that were there, they were still grieving. A lot of people from Parkland were there, and they were still grieving. A lot of people who suffered losses from gun violence here in the city of Chicago were there too.
Mm-hmm. And also, like the Petty family that lost a daughter and a sister has a different perspective on it because that's a family that wants to think in addition to react. So we do the right thing, not just anything, not just indulge ourselves, but actually do something productive, advance the conversation, improve the situation, not just aggrandize ourselves. So there's that too. When people want to moralize about what they would or wouldn't do and what everybody else should or shouldn't do and how everybody else should or shouldn't live and whose rights get taken away. And you don't think they're using these kids? These are the kids that'll be on college campuses assaulting professors in a couple of years because that's what the reality is at these totalitarian re-education camps we call colleges and universities. It can't happen here. No, of course not. Because we don't see thuggish behavior from Antifa or Black Lives Matter. No, we don't see that on the streets. The same people backing the same plays that hate on police, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, and you get so offended when you hear that. It's all part of the rich tapestry of the left. So connect some dots. Candace in DuPage.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Hey, on Sunday, Sunday, Chris Wallace, I'm not a big fan of him, but he had one of those kids on. It wasn't David Hogg, but the other creep, who's a brunette. And he tried to pin him down. He said, finally, he asked him, what do you guys really want? And this kid basically said that they want a mental test even for pistols. I mean, everybody knows that shrinks are quacks themselves, a lot of them, and most of them are left-leaning. So how's that going to work out?
I mean, okay, thanks for the call, Candace. Look, the idea of listening to people who know nothing suggest how guns should be regulated in a free society is absurd. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to participate in these discussions. This is ridiculous. I mean, other than the handful of kids and families that are showing some restraint and getting any airtime, like that Kyle Kashuv or that Petty family that I mentioned, there is no point of addressing this, even attempting to address this in any substantive way. It's to defile yourself to even attempt it. These are people who know nothing and don't care about knowing nothing. They're just emoting. And we're going to indulge that in any serious way? That's why I said this is the most substantive response we got, the most substantive speech that was given, Samantha Fuentes.
Me in the eye.
Yeah, this is the best speech that was given. There you go. That's the only honest thing that was said the entire day at the March for Gun Confiscation. Samantha Fuentes couldn't contain the lie anymore. She had to expel it.
Either that or she had too much candy on the bus while she was driving to Washington, D.C. Because that can happen, you know?
Could be.
But she continued on, and then everybody cheered for her, which I think
she needed to exorcise those demons.
Instead of that. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Trump signs the omnibus spending bill that funds Planned Parenthood and raises congressional salaries.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you thought Stormy Daniels was bad.
At 6:36.
And later, Todd Ricketts here to talk about Loyola and politics. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Our good friend Dave Stewart filling in this week for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. It's 33 degrees in Chicago at 6:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Cloudy, breezy, and milder today. We'll see a high of 51. Adult film actress and director Stormy Daniels says she was threatened to remain silent about her alleged affair with President Trump. Mark Mayfield has more.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." And then he was gone.
In the first televised interview on the matter, Daniels told CBS's 60 Minutes that she was going to sell her story about the alleged affair with President Trump. The alleged affair apparently happened about 10 years ago, shortly after Melania Trump gave birth to their son, Barron. Mark Mayfield, NBC News Radio.
Dozens are dead after a fire in a shopping mall in Russia. Reports say as many as 60 people may have lost their lives in the Siberian Mall, about 2,000 miles from Moscow. When the blaze broke out Sunday, authorities haven't revealed the cause of that fire just yet. Mark Zuckerberg taking out newspaper ads to offer an apology. The Facebook founder and CEO took out full-page ads in papers across the U.S. and the U.K. Sunday to apologize for the Cambridge Analytica privacy scandal. No one's in custody after a drive-by shooting on the west side that wounded 2 men. Police say the victims were shot yesterday in the 4200 block of West Van Buren. Both victims taken to the hospital. One's in fair condition. The other is in good condition. Police say 8 people in all were shot since Sunday morning, that is, including 3 teens in separate incidents. 3 of those reports were from the West Garfield Park area, accounting for 4 of those wounded. An off-duty Chicago police officer is wounded after an accidental shooting on the north side. Authorities say that happened last night outside the Lincoln District Police Station when the weapon was accidentally fired inside the officer's personal vehicle. That victim suffered a graze wound to the leg. In sports, Cactus League Baseball, Cubs over the Royals 5-3 in their final spring game. The White Sox hammered the Brewers 16-1. Sox take on the Charlotte Knights in Charlotte today. Hockey, Blackhawks host the San Jose Sharks. And the Final Four matchups are set. Kansas meets Villanova Saturday, and Loyola will face Michigan. News, a service of Staples. Staples knows that running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner. Find your ink in stock every time and at a low price every day so you can meet every deadline. Staples, it's pro time. AM 560 News Time, 6:33. A look at traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Dennis Prager reacts to Hillary Clinton's comments.
I want people on the left to understand something. Almost half this country feels about Hillary Clinton as you do about Donald Trump, with the big difference that we have a reason to. She and her husband traded in money for favors while in power. Donald Trump never did anything like that.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
A glass of wine on the patio at day's end. Laughter from your teens and their friends gathered around the crackling fire of your new fire pit. This is the private oasis that AM Woodland Outdoor Design can create for you. Your outdoor space should be a reflection of your family's personality and a true extension of your home, not just a place to set your grill and furniture. A well-designed and constructed outdoor space can add significant value to your home and bring endless days of enjoyment. Spend more time together as a family, entertain friends, or just have a personal sanctuary to relax and de-stress. The expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process. They provide quality service with the utmost integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com. That's amwoodland.com or call 847-224-2167.
It's tax season. Are you prepared? Do you need help? It's time to call your trusted tax advisor, Timothy C. Wolf, who's a CPA with over 35 years experience in tax planning and preparation. Tim is knowledgeable about the current as well as the new 2018 tax legislation. Tim will complete your return while you wait, where possible, or in as little as 48 hours. It'll have your tax return electronically filed with any refund being directly deposited to your account. As a Food for the Poor business benefactor, Tim challenges new and existing clients to contribute to Food for the Poor, with any new client contributions matched up to $50. Call 847-818-0400 to schedule an appointment. All new clients will receive a 20% discount off their 2017 tax preparation fees, as well as a free review of your past 3 tax returns. 1 in 3 reviews have resulted in refunds up to $50,000. Now is the time to call or text Tim at 847-818-0400 to schedule your appointment, or go to timwolfcpa.com to find out more.
At 6:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Metro reports delays on the BNSF line this morning due to what Metro calls manpower issues. Eden's inbound heavy Foster to the junction. It's 22 minutes either way. Lake Cook and Montrose. Earlier crash at Wilson has cleared. Kennedy, 26 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 36. Delays are Fullerton to Kimball and Lawrence to the airport. It's also heavy on westbound 190 from Kennedy to the Tri-State. Front of Eisenhower, gummed up Manheim to the Burn Circle with road work now in the left lane from Ogden to the Circle. Long-term works at 55 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 for Lakeshore Drive. The left lane is blocked at Pulaski with wood debris. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 19 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Northbound Tri-States, though, 87th, 83rd Street, Tool, and from the Reagan, Toolway to North Avenue. Traffic, service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. Turning cloudy, breezy, milder today with a high of 51. Cloudy and breezy this evening. Some rain, not as cool, low 45. Some rain in the morning tomorrow, then cloudy skies and a high of 57. Right now, 32 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 7 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Some call me the sage from South Central. Others call me the czar of common sense. But you can call me Larry Elder. And you're invited to join me tonight, starting at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So Trump made some noise about vetoing the $1.3 trillion omnibus spending legislation, but then grudgingly signed it on Friday, saying that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, he was with a few members of his cabinet and had the bill, the 2,232 pages, on a pedestal. And just, basically no lawmakers had time to read this, and it's never ever going to happen again, Dan. You hear me?
I will never sign another bill like this again.
Yeah, he said he was forced into it. He was forced into nothing. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Does this, signing this spending bill, does that square with draining the swamp to you?
Tell us what's in it. What did we sign up to? What did our lawmakers sign us up for? What are our tax dollars going to go to?
Among other things, you've got Congress giving itself salary increases. So that's good.
How much?
Salaries of staffers in the Senate set for an increase. The Senate increased its expense account Expense allowances are going from $177,000 to $192,000, an increase of $15,000 for Senate office expense accounts. Also, you'll get to things like $2 million grants to prevent elderly falls, $8 million in breastfeeding grants, legislation mandating the bill mandates ATF work to improve wine label accuracy.
The elderly falls. Don't you have the hip pillow to help you out?
Yeah, you do have that. You also have
it's like an airbag,
the
so
metal
when
alert
you can wear it
bracelet.
on. It looks like it's a little binding, a little crunchy in your pants, but right when you fall, then it explodes up a bag.
Mm-hmm.
You won't break your hip.
Also, Investors Business Daily opined on this, 3 important reasons that Trump should not have signed the bill. No border security. The $1.6 billion in funds to build a border wall, but it specifies only a portion of it can be used to extend existing barriers, specifically barring the money from being used to build anything other than what is currently deployed. In other words, none of the money can be used to build any of the prototypes Trump just visited. No spending restraint, obviously.
Oh, wow.
That's a second reason. And then no Obamacare fixes. We've seen, the 4 years prior to Obamacare, premiums increased about 10%. Health insurance premiums for the average American. The 4 years subsequent to Obamacare, 2013, 2017, 60%. And nothing to unwind Obamacare. I mean, I understand that Congress, the Senate missed the opportunity. There was an effort made last year. I get that. But you can also do things in terms of the funding, right? The power of the purse. And though that was not done in quite the opposite, in point of fact, went quite the opposite way to continue propping up Obamacare.
There was talk Friday that he might not sign the bill up until about lunchtime, and then he signed it. I think he did it to avoid a government shutdown.
It's a government shutdown.
Yeah. Health insurance premiums likely to jump right before the November election. Wall Street Journal reporting over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what about Planned Parenthood?
Planned Parenthood funded $500
You're
million.
supposed to take that out. And that we didn't do anything about Dreamers, right? Nothing was.
Yeah. So, draining the swamp, is it?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey debt pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Tim in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello, Dan and Amy. Great show.
Thank you.
I got a question for you. Everybody complains that these bills come out at the last minute. They didn't get a chance to write it. Who, according to the Constitution, is supposed to spend the money, write the bills up, and present them to the president? Isn't that Congress?
Lobbyists. Yeah.
Well, but who's responsible? I mean,
members of Congress, obviously.
Right. So if they're saying they don't have a chance to read it, well, then why don't they do their damn job and not the lobbyists? And they would know what's in the bill.
Well, yeah, although it's difficult, this is the concentration of power in the hands of leaders, right? A handful of people concoct 2,300 pages of spending and then dump it on all the backbenchers and give them an hour to read it. So that's the problem. Thanks for the call, Tim. And it works both ways. It works on the Republican side. It works the same way with the pass it to find out what's in it Democrats, Pelosi style. Dennis in Crystal Lake.
Yeah, Dan, I'm kind of disappointed in you. How much did the military get increased in this budget? It got doubled.
Yeah.
For the last 8 years, they haven't got a dime. You know what the average pay raise for the military's been in the last 8 years? For people who actually served in the military, like my family, 100 years of 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
They got 1.5% a year.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get?
What did I
What
get?
did you and Amy get? You didn't give these people nothing. They got their stuff. That's why he signed a bill.
Yeah. Okay, Dennis. Thanks for the call.
No, they signed the bill. They have a 2-week break coming up, and nobody wanted it to interfere with their spring break plans.
David,
gotta get home to the family.
David in McCook.
Hey, good morning, guys. Amy, you just stole my thunder. That's what I was going to comment on. These clowns are about to go on vacation, so let's hurry up and pass this so we can go on our 5th vacation this year.
Thanks for the call, David.
Thanks.
Also, this Peter Schweitzer book, Peter Schweitzer who wrote the book Clinton Cash.
Oh, yeah. We've had him on the show.
He's got a new book out, Secret Empires, How the American Political Class Hides Corruption, Enriches Family and Friends. Well, we know all about that in Illinois.
Yeah, hello. We wrote the book on that.
But there's some interesting targets. He looks at the finances of Mitch McConnell, for example, the Senate Majority Leader, and his wife, who in 2004 had a net worth of about $3 million. 10 years later, that had increased somewhere between, per financial disclosure reporting, between $9 and $36 million. Now, part of that was a gift from Elaine Chao's father, who was a successful businessman. Elaine Chao, of course, Transportation Secretary at present, former Labor Secretary. She comes from a wealthy family. But, there are real questions about how people go into Congress as with relatively modest means and come out multi-millionaires.
Yeah, how's that happen?
And part of the way they do that is by distributing the spoils of taxpayers' labor, like in $1.3 trillion omnibus spending bills. So the idea that you have to move along a $1.3 trillion spending bill, which, by the way, that was the size of the entire federal budget just 25 years ago. And that's to fund the government just through the end of this year, right? So this is where the unrestrained spending, and then you get the Dennises of the world to say, well, as long as I got mine, then I don't care if there's profligate spending everywhere else. And that's how the kleptocracy works. That's how it works in Illinois, too. Cut me in or cut it out. But if I get cut in, then Katie bar the door. I don't care if you spend $8 million on breastfeeding and studying elderly falls. I don't care if you continue to pile up unfunded liabilities and debt that we're going to pass on to those next generations. I don't care. Okay. Kathy in Valpo, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, those are so true. And I know from being in the Parks and Rec industry that when that money comes down the hill, never forget the highway bill, and when Bush signed that, and down in Kentucky, I won't mention the city, but they said, yeah, we don't want to expand our highway, so we're going to give this to the Parks and Recs. They push that money wherever they may need it. But my point in regards to the bill, I did hear this morning. There's talk that because if illegal aliens come into the country, that is a national security issue. So Trump can take some of the money legally from the military that he just gave and use that for his wall.
Yeah, okay.
You know what makes me
Thanks
laugh?
for the call, Kathy. I mean, even if that's true, that justifies this bill? No.
What
not really.
makes me laugh is all my friends who spent so much time and effort having fundraisers for Planned Parenthood because they thought it was going to be defunded because of President Trump. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
Planned Parenthood is rolling in the dough. I mean, can you imagine how much money they have right now that was donated to them? It's got to be more than $1 million because I know they raised
more than $1 million.
They raised tens of.
They got $500 million.
No, from the government. I'm saying private citizens who had public fundraisers. The one here generated almost $40,000 that they handed over to Planned Parenthood.
$40,000. I mean, the Ronners, dump more into Planned Parenthood by themselves than that. I mean, big deal. Yeah, right.
But I'm just saying
so
that everybody was so
that's hilarious.
afraid that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So Planned Parenthood has more money.
It's just, I told them.
That's a laugh riot.
See what happens.
Well, so they look bad?
No, I'm just saying that they spent a lot of hours of their lives when they could have been doing different things to try because they're afraid Planned Parenthood was going to go away because it was going to be defunded. Now it hasn't been defunded, and yet now they have money coming in from all over the country from different groups.
Yeah. People in groups that want to kill children. No, I got it.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up. The male birth control pill is showing some promise. Who wants to take one of those? And later, I knew it was hard work, but being a mom is the equivalent of having how many full-time jobs? But first, here's your forecast. Today, we have a chance of showers after 5 o'clock tonight. The temperature is going to go up. We have 32 degrees right now. We're going to end the day with a high near 50 degrees. Showers overnight, and then tomorrow we'll be waking up to some showers, and then it will be cloudy with a high near 57 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Metro has delays on the BNSF line this morning due to manpower issues. West side of Chicago, eastbound North Avenue is closed. Costner to Pulaski due to police activity. Eden's 24 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 19. Kennedy, 27 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 38. It's heavy on westbound 190 as well. Eisenhower jammed. Mannheim to the Burn Circle. There's road work now in the left lane from Ogden to the Circle. Long-term stuff. Hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 33 minutes. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the drive. There's wood debris at Pulaski in the left lane. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57 clear. Bishop Ford, just a little congested approaching the merge, much lighter than usual. The northbound Tri-State has scattered delays. 87th to the Mile Long Bridge. Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tillway to North Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. United Airlines opening its wallet for a bump passenger, a Canadian firm paying more than $80 million for a Chicago car dealership. Those stories next.
This is Jack from Banyan Hill. You like freedom? I do. You like money? I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're gonna love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard right. $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want a chance to grab your full share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by May 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.myfreedomchecks.com before the May 1st deadline. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
Today begins a short week on Wall Street. Stock and bond markets have a 4-day work week closing on Good Friday. United Airlines, that's had its share of negative publicity, has just paid $10,000 to a passenger bumped from a full flight. A Washington, D.C. woman asked to give up her seat on an overbooked flight to Austin. The airline offered her a $2,000 voucher, but when she refused, United gave her $10,000 instead. One of Canada's largest car dealers agreeing to pay $86 million for the Grosinger Auto Group. That's the oldest family-owned dealership chain in Illinois. Auto Canada will get 8 dealerships in and around Chicago, one in the Bloomington area. The business began decades ago as a parking garage. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For decades, our country has lived through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Our factories were shuttered, our steel mills closed down, and our jobs were stolen away and shipped far away to other countries, some of which you've never even heard of.
And who's responsible for those lost jobs? Career politicians. Senator Joe Donnelly profited from Mexican labor, and Congressman Todd Rokita and Luke Messer, they voted to fast-track Obama's trade deals. Donnelly, Rokita, and Messer let Indiana jobs go to China and Mexico and sat on their hands. We can't trust them to bring good jobs back. Businessman Mike Braun, conservative, Christian, Mike Braun will help President Trump make America stronger than ever before.
I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. The main thing we learned from the 3,000-plus school walkouts that occurred and those already being planned for April 20 is who's in charge of K-12 education in America. And that should frighten you more than your average 18-year-old with a rifle or a violent video game. Those pillaging America's schools like Malcolm McDowell and his droogs in A Clockwork Orange are in charge of our schools, not attending them. It's zero tolerance on the one hand and tolerance of everything, including thuggery, on the other. If you're a white kid who scrawls the square root sign evoking a gun on a math assignment, they bring in Jack Bauer and put him on the clock. If you're a minority kid, say in Parkland, Florida, you can threaten to shoot up your school and no one will say anything. Under the guise of racial equity, schools are moving to remove disciplinary consequences for certain students and take discretion away from law enforcement in the process. Neither are teachers immune from the imposition of leftist orthodoxy. Just ask the California teacher put on administrative leave for hazarding a thoughtful discussion with her class about the politics of protests ahead of the walkout. With the politics being pushed on their kids, now is a good time for more parents to wake up and walk into their kids' schools for a healthy stop, look, and listen.
With so many homeowners fearful of poor service and not knowing who to trust, home remodeling is often delayed. But do you ever wonder why so many remodeling experiences go so wrong? Advanced Design Studio thinks remodeling shouldn't be so painful. Will the project stay on budget and be done on time? If you're nervous about home remodeling, you're not alone. Whether you're contemplating a new kitchen or bath, want an addition to your home, or in need of a whole house transformation, Advanced Design Studio is the company to call. They understand your fears and know how to overcome them. Backed by 25 years of producing positive remodeling experiences, Advanced Design's client service process, called Common Sense Remodeling, averts remodeling project delays, budget overruns, and produces a rewarding remodeling experience. Make this the year you overcome your fears and remodel your home, bath, or kitchen. Don't be a bad remodeling story. Use common sense and visit AdvancedDesignStudio.com for more information or call 847-836-2600.
There's a lot going on with your mouth. It's how you communicate through speech and your smile. It's where you put food to fuel your body. It's how you show affection to your loved ones. The health of your mouth and teeth are so important, and Dentistry for All Ages in Elk Grove Village can help keep your mouth and teeth in excellent condition. When is the last time you had a dental checkup? It's suggested every 6 months. Dr. Leichner and Dr. Fernelli at Dentistry for All Ages focus on comprehensive consultations and most dental services. But start with an oral cancer screening using Velscope. It sounds technical, but it's a really simple process. And right now, you can get a free oral cancer screening with your dental cleaning and exam. Dentistry for All Ages is in Elk Grove Village, Suite 660 in the Eberly Building in Alexian Brothers Hospital, with a convenient indoor parking garage located on the first 4 floors. Call 847-439-2445 for an appointment or go to dentistryforallage.com. Dentistryforallage.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Anxious for spring and sunshine? So is Joe Cotton Ford. Celebrate the warmer weather with a brand new American-made Ford truck from Joe Cotton. Check out the Ford F-150, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, with enhanced intuitive infotainment features. The Ford F-150 has earned the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's 5-star safety rating. For 41 years, the best truck running, and Joe Cotton Ford has the best selection, with special leasing offers that'll put some spring in your step. As always, every vehicle purchased comes with the Joe Cotton Advantage that goes above and beyond what the manufacturer offers. It'll help you save on maintenance, vehicle protection, and more. And at Joe Cotton, you'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure, just like generations of customers that keep coming back. Truly a different vehicle buying experience. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and celebrate spring with a new Ford car, truck, or SUV today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, let's take a quick call. Jim in Naperville on Trump's signing of that omnibus bill.
Morning, guys. Hey, you know what? He should have vetoed that purely on the process. There was no public reading of the time for the public to review the documents, let alone the legislators that were voting on it. They had no time to read it. And isn't that what Paul Ryan swore that he would give after the Obamacare debacle? That he would make sure that no bill was passed without so-and-so time for adequate review, and that the process would be honored.
Yeah.
And just on that basis alone, he should have just immediately vetoed it, kicked it back, slowed it down, and gave everyone an opportunity to take a look at it.
Thanks for the call, Jim. So it failed on process and substance. That's a pretty big failure.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll preview Cubs 2018 and GOP 2018 with RNC Finance Chairman and Cubs co-owner Todd Ricketts at 7:07.
And later, one former senator tells the kids, you shouldn't be marching, you should be learning how to perform CPR. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good morning to Dave Stewart, who is in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Among the stories we are watching today, authorities are looking for the cause of a fire in Gary that killed a young brother and sister over the weekend. An off-duty Chicago cop was wounded when his gun accidentally went off while inside his personal vehicle near the police station. And Governor Rauner is calling J.B. Pritzker a tax cheat because he has offshore business holdings. Now it's time for an update from Fox News on AM 560, The Answer, WIND Chicago. It's 7 o'clock.
She claims she was threatened. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Stormy Daniels tells CBS 60 Minutes it happened in 2011, 5 years after her one sexual encounter with Donald Trump.
I was in a parking lot going to a fitness class with my infant daughter.
And the porn star says some guy told her to leave Donald Trump alone, forget the story, and then said it would be a shame if something bad happened. Now, before the presidential election several years later, Daniels did sign a non-disclosure agreement. She says she felt she had to.
The exact sentence used was, they can make your life hell in many different ways.
The president's attorney also paid her $130,000. Now some reaction from Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The lawyer for President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, has sent Daniels a cease and desist letter demanding that she refrain from making what he called false and defamatory statements about him. Daniels is now suing the president to be freed from a non-disclosure agreement she signed weeks before the 2016 election to keep quiet about the alleged affair. A spokeswoman for First Lady Melania Trump writing on Twitter, while I know the media is enjoying speculation and salacious gossip, I'd like to remind people there's a minor child whose name should be kept out of news stories when at all possible. Dave?
John, 64 people are dead in Russia after a fire broke out at a Siberian shopping mall. Many victims are feared to be kids at the mall during a school break. A gun manufacturer has filed for bankruptcy protection. Remington is dealing with falling sales and the cost of lawsuits after the 2012 massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut.
When politicians send their thoughts and prayers with no action, we say no more.
That was at that march in Washington Saturday. David Hogg, a survivor of the deadly shooting at his high school in Parkland, Florida, leading the call for stricter gun laws. In a new Fox News poll, 53% of voters say protecting people from guns is more important than the right to own guns. 9 in 10 support universal background checks. Fox News, fair and balanced.
At 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. I'm David Stewart. Cloudy, breezy, milder today. We'll see a high of 51. Authorities are trying to determine what caused a fire in Gary that killed a young brother and sister. That blaze broke out yesterday inside an apartment building in the 5800 block of Forest Court. The Lake County Coroner's Office identified the victims as 4-year-old Christopher Gober and 2-year-old Kaylani Gober. An 8-year-old boy jumped from the 4th floor into a blanket held by neighbors and survived. One man is dead after a crash on the far south side. Authorities say Christopher Cardenas was driving early yesterday when he lost control, hit a telephone pole near South Avenue O and 118th Street. Cardenas died at the scene. An off-duty Chicago police officer was wounded after an accidental shooting on the north side. Authorities say it happened last night outside the Lincoln District Police Station when the weapon he was holding accidentally fired inside the officer's personal vehicle. He suffered a graze wound to the leg. A suburban Chicago father is being held on $10,000 bail after prosecutors say he threatened his son's school. Paul Chapman's lawyers say he never really threatened anyone, but police say he did threaten to bring a rifle to the son's school to put an end to bullying. Governor Bruce Rauner not wasting time or words in his race for re-election. He used a campaign stop in southern Illinois to call his Democratic opponent J.B. Pritzker a tax cheat. It's a reference to offshore accounts in Pritzker's name that came to light during the primary election. Rauner also has offshore accounts, but says he is not in control of those. Fans are celebrating Loyola Chicago's first Final Four berth since 1963. Head coach Porter Moser praised his team yesterday at Gentile Arena.
This group on stage is what's right about college basketball.
The 11th-seeded Ramblers advanced to the national semifinals by beating Kansas State 78-62 Saturday night. So Loyola now faces third-seed Michigan Saturday in San Antonio. The Kansas Jayhawks meet Villanova also on Saturday. In other sports, Cactus League baseball, Cubs over the Royals 5-3 in their final spring game. White Sox over the Brewers 16-1. Sox take on Charlotte, the Charlotte Knights, that is, in Charlotte today. And in the NHL, the Blackhawks host the San Jose Sharks. The news, a service of Accountemps. When you could use help closing your books and you need some additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps because they can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis and fast. So call today, Accountemps, a Robert Half company. AM 560 News Time 7:04. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Sean Hannity reacts to the Russia investigation.
The House Intel Committee have now ended their 14-month phase of this Russian investigation. It confirms that the media and Democrats have been flat out lying to every American for over a year with their breathless, hysterical reporting.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
A list of things that will let you down today. Your alarm clock, C-store coffee, public transportation, the office elevator, the sandwich you packed for lunch, the 5th floor printer, your cell phone battery, the shoelace you swore you double knotted, your hard drive, your backup hard drive, and of course, the weather. Brighten your day with something you can actually count on. GoToMeeting is the easy-to-use collaborative meeting tool that 18 million monthly users trust to help them get work done. To learn more about how you can meet better, visit GoToMeeting.com.
Let's see here. Fire protection?
Check.
Uniforms, mats, and restroom products?
Check.
First aid cabinets and safety products?
Check.
Great! So it sounds like we're ready to go.
No. When I said check, I meant we still need to check on all those things.
Just call Cintas. They can handle all of it. It's what they do.
Okay. Call Cintas. Check. Got it.
Oh, I'm ready!
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
As a business owner, you have hundreds of decisions to make on a daily basis. It's beyond needing to pay bills, keeping employees happy, or what the next step is to grow your business. Part of your stress can be making sure you're protected in a time of crisis. Can you trust that your insurance provider is going to be there when you need them most? When you're looking for a partner who's there for you in your most desperate times, call Insure with Us. You won't have to wait on hold to talk to an agent who's unfamiliar with your policy. Speak directly to who wrote your policy when you have any urgent question or need. Don't hesitate. Get it done today. Get a free quote in less than 24 hours at lowcostinsurance.biz. Choose from dozens of top insurers across the U.S. Insure with Us focuses on finding you the best coverage for your business and for your family. Visit them today at lowcostinsurance.biz. Insure with Us. Coverage for the things that matter most.
At 7:07 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. West side of Chicago, North Avenue is closed eastbound Keeler to Cadvale. This is for police investigation of an earlier crash in that area. Eden's inbound is heavy from Devon to the junction. It's about a 6-minute delay. The outbound side still looks good. Kennedy, 33 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 18 from Montrose, 16 on the Express. Outbound, 14 minutes to Montrose, 45 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower jammed. Mannheim to the Burns Circle with road work now in the left lane. Ogden to the Circle till late next year. It's an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound just 31 minutes. Mount Stevenson delays. It's heavy first 126 to Veterans Parkway, then First Avenue to Kedzie. It is 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 37. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, busy forward, far lighter than usual. Just a little congestion approaching the merge. Southbound Tri-State slow from past 2A to the Adams Tollway. Northbound, 83rd Street toll to the Mylong Bridge. In pockets from the Stevenson to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound 8094 at Kennedy Avenue. A crash blocking 3 left lanes. traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer coming next, but now the forecast, and here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy and mild with increasing cloudiness, high 51. Breezy this evening, periods of rain tonight, low 45, but temperature will rise into the middle 50s overnight. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
34 now at the lakefront, 32 Midway, 32 at O'Hare. Next traffic at next news update 7:30 on AM 560. The Answer. I'm David Stewart.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Sister Jean, not seen, as I said, a run by a person of the cloth like Sister Jean since at least Bishop Pickering and Caddyshack. And hers is ending better so far as Loyola faces off against Michigan in San Antonio this coming Saturday.
I know. They've won 14 straight. We're hoping to make it 16.
In the corner, Richardson. Yes! Down by double digits. Richardson.
Yeah, and the hero the game was Ben Richardson. So they trade off who's the hero every game, which is great because that's what makes him a great team.
Great team basketball, well coached by Bennett Academy alumnus.
I'm sorry, who?
Porter Mosier.
Yeah.
Not good enough for Illinois State, huh, Redbirds? Redbirds? Would you like to extend and revise your review of one Porter Mosier? How would you like Porter Mosier to be coaching your team now?
They had a great homecoming for them yesterday at the Gentile Center, and Porter Mosier ear to ear smiling.
This group on stage is what's right about college basketball. They're high character, they're unselfish, and I tell you what, this could be an unbelievable ride and journey for our university. But now, it's an unbelievable ride for our country.
Porter Mosier giving credit to two of his mentors, Tony Barone, coach at Creighton, where he played, and also Rick Majerus, where he was an assistant before taking the job at Loyola.
Yeah, and Rick Majerus actually talked him in to taking the job.
I've been blessed with two mentors, Tony Barone and Coach Rick Majerus. And Coach Majerus was he was adamant. He's like, you got to take this job. You know, he said we were building something there. And he goes, you got to take this job. You're from Chicago area, Jesuit school. So I think he'd be happy with the type of kids we got and how we play the game. And that's what he would love about this.
And, of course, Sister Jean is entertaining offers. Probably, I suspect, the Cubs have already extended an offer for her to be one of their goodwill ambassadors this season. I don't know, but we could go to the source on this. We're pleased to be joined by Cubs co-owner and also newly minted chairman of the RNC Finance Committee, Todd Ricketts. Todd, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
So are you going to have Sister Jean throughout the first pitch on opening day? Mm-hmm.
Well, I would just I don't know about that. We'll wait till the season's over before we start having talks about that. But I do say to Sister Jean before each game, I'm like, will you pray for the Cubs too?
Yeah, exactly.
And I would go on to say, like, the whole Sister Jean bobblehead, that's not new, right? Like we had those in the past. So it's important for people to know that she's been a big part of our community for a long time.
Oh, no question. Actually, I dug up a Tribune article from June of 1971 where she gave an address to the graduating class at Mundelein College. So maybe a commencement speech or two is she still got in her this year, starting at Loyola.
Yeah, she definitely still has it in her. That's for sure.
So are you going to go to the game on Saturday?
Oh, of course. I've been down. We were in St. Louis. We were in Dallas. We were in Atlanta. And we'll be in San Antonio again.
And do you know Porter Mosier by any chance, or have you gotten to know him?
I do. You know, I joined the Board of Regents at Loyola about the same time we hired Porter, and I've always thought he was a good coach. I didn't know he was as special as we were finding out. But if you go back and look at the Loyola games when he first got there, we played good teams, and we never got blown out. We were in every game that we lost, even though we lost a lot of them. We were always in the game, and I've always felt Porter was a great coach. And now we're seeing that if you get just the right mix of kids, it's a special group of kids.
Yeah, it's a great.
We have. These guys are
great team basketball.
They're all great kids.
And don't you love that they're so humble? They kind of remind me of the Cubs.
A little bit. These guys, the only people who are surprised of where we are right now are the people who haven't been paying attention to us for the last couple of years, because this group of kids, they've been doing it. We didn't get all the wins we wanted in the last couple of years, but it really just came together this year. We feel really great about it.
Well, when 11 seed goes to the Final Four, Jim Malanga at George Mason, then he goes on to University of Miami, Shaka Smart at VCU, then he goes on to University of Texas. So Porter Moser, how are you going to keep him around, Todd?
Well, I think Porter's pretty happy here in Chicago. Obviously, he's a hometown kid, and his family's here. They're kind of entrenched in the community. So there's a lot of things that are keeping him here that aren't necessarily contract and dollars.
Dan.
And
it's always about the
those
filthy money
conversations
with
will
me.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's those conversations have to wait. Let's wait till the season's over, and let's hope it does last until Monday night.
Okay. Well, his contract is up this season, right?
No, he's got a couple more years on his contract, but I think that everybody understands that those things aren't necessarily etched in stone, and the conversations are going to take place.
There you go. So who do you want them to face in the championship game? Is it Kansas or Villanova?
Well, those are both pretty good teams.
I would say.
It's a tough call because they both present some challenges. But I would point out that I believe the athletic director at Kansas now is the athletic director who fired Porter at Illinois State.
Oh boy, more vengeance! I love it.
Good.
And also,
so maybe
and
let's build up the drama.
And the kid, the point guard Custer, he's from Overland Park, Kansas, isn't he?
Yeah, he and Ben Richardson. They played.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
basketball
right.
together.
Yeah. Oh, that would be sweet.
Great that they got.
And it would be.
Fact, those guys,
and you could be Bill Self too, former Illini coach. Boy, that could be real fun.
Yeah, there you go. Then Ben and Clayton, they've been going to school together since they were in first grade.
Oh my God.
So they've known each other their whole lives, and they played basketball together their whole lives, which probably is a lot of the reason why they act like one person on the court.
And so, all right, so then we're switching gears a little bit more sports talk here. The Cubs, you open on the 9th at home? When's your home opener?
Yeah, that's right. It's Monday the 9th. We've got a little bit of a long road trip to start the year. We're starting off in Miami this week, and a couple pit stops on the way back to Chicago, but the 9th. And again, another team, another special group. I feel very good about the talent level we have this year and the attitude. So, barring some catastrophic injuries, I think we're going to be right back in the mix this year.
All right. Now, you took a new position recently as the RNC Finance Chair. How is it going? Is it more than you? Is it what you expected?
No. It's actually really, really great fun, and I feel pretty good about that too. I steal this line from our mayor, who says that when the president calls you and asks you to do something, you have two choices. You can say yes or yes, sir. And so I chose to say yes, sir. And and I've been working with Rana for the last month or so, just trying to gather up the resources for the midterm elections.
And so, we got a preview of Loyola basketball. We got a preview of Cubs 2018. So give us a preview of GOP 2018 and midterms, particularly with some of these decisions of late, like the one on Friday that's got some conservatives rankled.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
The signing the omnibus spending bill on Friday that's got some conservatives rankled.
I was watching basketball, so I lost
see?
it.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
So, I actually feel pretty good about it. Obviously, every time the president heads into a midterm in their first term, they lose some seats in the House, and this one, the challenges are the same. I think we probably will lose some seats in the House, but we have a 23 seat advantage right now. And we just have to make sure that we don't lose more than 23 seats. That's really what we're going to be focused on and working hard to make sure that doesn't happen.
All right. He is Todd Ricketts, Cubs co-owner, Loyola Board of Regents, RNC Finance Chairman. He doesn't get much sleep. Todd Ricketts, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
No. We're just going to keep the winning going all across the board.
Yeah, somebody's doing it in this state. It's fun to watch. Thanks, Todd.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
See you.
Thank you. And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next, Bronner Pritzker poll. The little guy or the big guy? Oh, I'm not supposed to fat shame. But here's your forecast. Sunny right now, and it's pretty chilly out there. We have 32 degrees, but as the day continues, clouds are going to roll in here, and it's going to get warmer. We're going to end with a high near 50 degrees, but with that, some showers after 5 p.m. Then tonight, showers mainly after 8 p.m. and a low of around 46 degrees. And for Tuesday, showers mainly before 1 p.m., then cloudy with a high near 57 warm, balmy degrees. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Eastbound 8094, it's jammed now from the state line to Kennedy Avenue with a crash blocking the left lane and the right lane. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 19, Kennedy. 34 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose, 16 on the Express. Outbound 43 minutes to O'Hare. Got Eisenhower jammed. Manheim to Burns Circle with road work now from Ogden to the Circle in the left lane. The long term, the exit to Racine closed. Hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31 minutes. Stevenson 50 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 37. Ryan 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford both looking fine. Heavy on the southbound tri-state, past 2 to the Adams Tollway. Northbound 147th before Crawford, crash in the right lane. It's Archer to the Mylong Bridge, from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The other tollways are lighter than normal. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Sean Hannity is right. IRS problems can be devastating. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here on this station every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. And I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. I know you want a local attorney you could look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So if you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, or visit your home or job, and now they can take your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good. Today, I have a special bonus. If you are one of the first 25 to call and hire me to solve your IRS problem, we will prepare your 2017 tax returns for free. Call me, attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649. Again, that's 312-664-6649. One more time, 312-664-6649. Or visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. Don't wait. Call me now and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For decades, our country has lived through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Our factories were shuttered, our steel mills closed down, and our jobs were stolen away and shipped far away to other countries, some of which you've never even heard of.
And who's responsible for those lost jobs? Career politicians. Senator Joe Donnelly profited from Mexican labor, and Congressman Todd Rokita and Luke Messer, they voted to fast-track Obama's trade deals. Donnelly, Rokita, and Messer let Indiana jobs go to China and Mexico and sat on their hands. We can't trust them to bring good jobs back. Businessman Mike Braun, Conservative, Christian, Mike Braun will help President Trump make America stronger than ever before.
I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Abilify, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, Rexulti. These drugs are commonly prescribed for depression treatment. 2018 can be the year you win the war on depression.
New year, new you.
Drugs for depression can be dangerous, have side effects, and really just mask the problem. TMS therapy treats the source of your depression. Cure or remission is here. HBR centers are proud to bring TMS therapy to Chicagoland and Milwaukee. Millions have been treated, and the results are outstanding.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive.
How does it work? TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate mood centers, causing long-term medication-free relief. It's FDA cleared and covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. Make the call, ask questions, bring an end to your depression. HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Presentation is everything. If you don't have a great way to convey your message to clients, you may have lost half the battle. You need the right system and equipment for your conference and training rooms. Before you get overwhelmed and freak out over the latest technology, consult with Fathom Media. Fathom Media is a systems design specialist that will help bring your conference or boardroom into the 21st century and deliver presentations that cut through. From pre-design all the way through training you how to use and maintain your new system and equipment, Fathom Media is committed to your success, and it's more affordable than you may think. Communicating to clients, employees, and even customers doesn't have to be complicated. From business applications to churches and schools, Fathom Media will deliver your message using the latest and most effective technology for audio, video conferencing, interactive video walls, smartboards, kiosks, digital signage, and more. Choose Fathom Media. For a free design technology consultation, go to fathommedia.com. fathommedia.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And turns out, among other ignominious distinction, Illinois is the dependency capital of the Midwest. No other state in the Midwest has more of its population dependent on food stamps, even though we have less poverty than many of our neighbors. 175,000 able-bodied, childless adults are on the food stamp program. These are adults in their prime working years between 18 and 49 with no dependent children and no disabilities keeping them from meaningful employment.
Well, that goes along with, my kids have a Hispanic last name. I get applications for welfare programs, for SNAP, for Medicare. It's just ridiculous.
Jonathan Ingram writing this op-ed in the Belleville News Democrat. It's a business, and it's also a way to maintain a reliably dependent voting bloc. In the 22 years since welfare reform was signed by President Clinton to move Americans from welfare to work, requiring able-bodied childless adults to work, train, or volunteer at least part-time as a condition for receiving food stamps, Illinois has never fully implemented the program, relying instead on loopholes and gimmicks to trap more and more able-bodied people in dependency. And it continues, and it's both parties, and it will continue. And Ronner is going to continue. He's not taking advantage of the waiver provided by the federal government to mandate that able-bodied individuals work in order to be Medicaid eligible. Not doing that either because we're just one big state of Champagne socialists on the one end and state dependence on the other, and a decreasing amount of people in between as they're fleeing to other states that are more civilized and financially stable and offer better quality of life at a lower cost. And it's going to go worse in the not-too-distant future. I did a survey on Friday, done by a pollster that I used, Ogden and Fry. 667 likely general election voters, so plus or minus 3.87% margin of error. Mm-hmm. Where the governor's race stands at this point, to buttress the claims I've been making for 6 months that if you renominate Rauner, Illinois Republican parties, you are conceding the governor's race. Yep. Pritzker, 46, Rauner, 28.
Ooh.
Pritzker, fave on fave, 45-47. Rauner, fave on fave, 33-63. Rauner, job approval, 32% of Illinoisans approve. These are likely general election voters. 68% disapprove. 32-68. Intensity, 10% strongly approve, 43% strongly disapprove. Do you think Trump could win a statewide election in Illinois? No.
No.
His job approval, Trump's in Illinois, 38-62. Rauner's is 32-68.
So the man he was trying to distance himself from, he's exactly mirroring in the polls.
Well, actually, he's looking up at Trump's numbers. He'd have to improve to get to Trump's numbers. And even those numbers are not the numbers of someone who was going to win a statewide election. So that's what happened. On March 20th, we conceded the governor's race to J.B. Pritzker and the Chicago Democrats, and Rauner will be an albatross around the ticket and probably usher back in supermajorities. Well, supermajority in the House. There already is one in the Senate. Take down a lot of local Republicans as well. So congratulations for the self-inflicted wound. There'll be a lot of sound and fury and $250 million spent between the two of them over the next 7 months. And at the end of the day, it's written. The story has been written. This is a fait accompli. Everybody knows who Rauner is. They have an ossified opinion of him, and JB can muddy the waters, going more than dollar for dollar with Rauner. Game over, Illinois Republican Party. Game over, Illinois, for at least another generation. So if you're thinking about getting out of Illinois, you better get to it.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, what is Chicago's chances to get a second Amazon headquarters here?
0.
Well, we'll ask an expert. And then later, Stormy Daniels' Stormy interview. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good morning to Dave Stewart, who's in all week for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 32 degrees in Chicago at 7:31 at AM 560. The Answer. Cloudy, breezy, milder today. We'll see a high of 51. Adult film actress Stormy Daniels says she was threatened to remain silent about her alleged affair with Donald Trump.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." And then he was gone.
Daniels told CBS's 60 Minutes she was going to sell her story about the alleged affair with President Trump 10 years ago. The president's spokeswoman has denied the affair ever happened. U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer says he wants his colleagues to vote on gun control legislation by the end of April.
I am demanding that Leader McConnell put those bills on the floor of the Senate, and that Speaker Ryan put those bills on the floor of the House, and let the American people speak.
He held a rally in Manhattan on the issue on Sunday. One man's killed, at least 17 other people wounded in a series of shootings across Chicago since Friday night. The fatal shooting happened early Sunday in the back of the Yards neighborhood. A man was found with a gunshot wound to the head about 4 in the morning in the 1900 block of West 52nd Street. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A man's facing murder charges after a deadly home invasion last week on the south side. Police say Benjamin Williams and another person entered a home Friday in the 100 block of East 37th Place. While they were inside, they shot and killed Peggy Goodman, stabbed another woman multiple times. Williams was arrested. The other suspect remains at large. Police are working to reunite victims with an estimated $1 million worth of stolen high-end construction equipment and tools seized from a massive fencing ring, including generators, snowblowers, and power tools. Police are cutting some of the red tape in the hopes victims will come forward to claim their stolen items. 45-year-old Norma Argueta of Maywood was arrested after police discovered more than 400 pieces of commercial-grade equipment and tools worth at least $1 million. In Des Plaines, police say 3 people were killed, 2 injured last night in a crash involving 2 vehicles just after 6 at Rand Road and Gulf Road. In sports, Cactus League Baseball, Cubs over the Royals 5-3 in their final spring game. The White Sox hammered the Brewers 16-1. The Sox take on the Charlotte Knights in Charlotte today. Hockey, the Blackhawks host the San Jose Sharks. And the Final Four matchups have Kansas meeting Villanova on Saturday. And, of course, Michigan facing Loyola of Chicago. The news, the service of Accountemps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge, but Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. AM 560 News Time, 7:34. A check of traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
The DACA deadline came and went. Big deal.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Congress isn't capable of doing much, and I really don't want Congress doing anything when it comes to DACA. Here's my deal, guys. Build the wall, secure the border. Nobody should be in this country illegally. That's not complicated. Build the wall, secure the border. Nobody should be in America illegally. There's my comprehensive immigration reform.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Taste the difference of skilled gaucho chefs at Fogo de Chão Brazilian Steakhouse, where every cut is expertly prepared. Reserved today in Chicago, Rosemont, and Naperville at Fogo.com.
Anxious for spring and sunshine? So is Joe Cotton Ford. Celebrate the warmer weather with a brand new American-made Ford truck from Joe Cotton. Check out the Ford F-150, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, with enhanced intuitive infotainment features. The Ford F-150 has earned the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's 5-star safety rating. For 41 years, the best truck running, and Joe Cotton Ford has the best selection, with special leasing offers that'll put some spring in your step. As always, every vehicle purchased comes with the Joe Cotton Advantage that goes above and beyond what the manufacturer offers. It'll help you save on maintenance, vehicle protection, and more. And at Joe Cotton, you'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure, just like generations of customers that keep coming back. Truly a different vehicle buying experience. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and celebrate spring with a new Ford car, truck, or SUV today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
At 7:36 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Eastbound 8094 is jammed solid. Burnham Avenue and Lansing to Kennedy Avenue with a crash in the right lane. Tri-State southbound, a bit heavy. Lawrence to the O'Hare Oasis. Northbound from I-57 before Crawford after a crash. And it's slow in pockets from the Stevenson to 31st and from the Reagan-Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial a bit tight. 63rd to the Reagan-Tollway and from Lake Street to 290. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 33 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 46. The Eisenhower's an hour and 16 minutes, 390 to downtown, with road work from Ogden to the Circle now in the left lane till late 2019. Outbound just 38 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 37. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic and service of Firestone Complete Auto Care. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care through April 2nd and get $60 on a Visa prepaid card by mail when you purchase a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Restrictions and exclusions apply. Visit driveafirestone.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. For today, turning cloudy, breezy, and milder with a high of 51. Cloudy and breezy this evening, some rain, not quite as cool, low down to 45 tonight. Tomorrow, some rain in the morning, but then a cloudy day with a high of 57. Right now, it's 32 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 8 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Trevin Bosley was one of the speakers at that March for Gun Confiscation in D.C. Over the weekend. Oh, by the way, the March for Our Lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got registered as a C4 with the D.C. Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs. They've got a C3 as well. A paperwork lists Jerry Rhodes as the March's top official. She is a lobbyist who was formerly the chief financial officer of Greenpeace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? So that they formed a charity to have this March for Life?
No.
'Cause I know
Here's what it means.
all these actors gave
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
The left loves to demagogue, quote-unquote, dark money groups, the Koch brothers, Americans for Prosperity, and others, accept those dark money groups of their fellow travelers. And that's when the C3, which is a nonprofit, or C4, which is policy advocacy but doesn't have to disclose donors, they're demagoguing those on the right all the time. But when they form to advance the left, nary a mention is made. But here's a young Mr. Bosley talking about his hometown of Chicago. Give Chicago a little national profile, huh?
I know something about gun violence.
Yeah.
I must add, though, Chicago's violence epidemic didn't start overnight. It was caused by many problems that we are still not dealing with to this day. When you have a city that feels it's more important to help pay for a college and sports complex rather than fund schools and impoverished communities, you have gun violence. When you have a city that feels we need more divvy bikes in downtown Chicago for tourists rather than more funding for workforce programs that get guys off the streets real jobs, you have gun violence. When you have an Illinois state governor, Bruce Rauner, who feels that funding anti-violence programs is, I quote, non-essential spending, you have gun violence.
Yeah.
I must add.
So that's
Wow.
some nice national profile for Chicago and Illinois. I can only assume that'll even provide more enhancement of our bid for HQ2, right? Because that's what Rauner and Rahm are betting on. We're going to hit a grand slam, just like Jesse Jackson and Henry Hyde of a bygone era waiting for the Piatone Airport to be built. But for more on our tilting at windmills, we're pleased to be joined by John Haber again. He is the founder and CEO of Spend Management Experts. Spend Management Experts. John, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me this morning.
So Atlanta, Miami, Dallas, where's HQ2 going to go?
If my top five, I've got Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, the Washington, D.C. area. There's a couple sites in the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland area, and Boston.
Well, who made the first round of cuts? I mean, I heard so much buzzing about Nashville that it was a done deal. Did Nashville make the first round of cuts?
Yeah, they've knocked it down to the final 20 cities that are still eligible. Most of them are on the East Coast. You've only got a couple that are west of the Mississippi, so it's. Dallas is obviously not on the East Coast. You got Dallas and Austin and Denver, but most in LA. But most of the cities on the West Coast have been eliminated.
So Chicago's in your top five because Jeff Bezos is swept up in Loyola hype, or he's fallen in love with this plucky Ramblers team, and so he's putting Chicago in the top five to make us feel better, or what?
Well, Chicago's offering them a lot of money, a couple $1 billion, which is interesting when in listening to the comments from the gentleman on the radio clip that you paid, because they're offering a couple $1 billion, but that's to bring jobs to Chicago. So they're investing in trying to get Amazon there. I know that Amazon was recently in town looking at 3 of the sites in Chicago that have been proposed.
What are those 3 sites?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have the notes in front of me, but I know that there were 3 sites specifically out of, I believe, at least 10 sites that were submitted in the Chicago area.
Huh. And then also they were looking at the old McDonald's headquarters too.
Yep.
That
Looking there.
But what other? If we're offering billions, I mean, what other shady city politicians and other towns are offering cash incentives?
I mean, and almost all of them. You know, I don't think Boston's not offering a lot, but I know that Atlanta's offering financial rewards. Supposedly, the Newark, New York area bid is worth over $7 billion. That's what the estimates are for that area, and that's significantly more money than any other city.
And Chicago hired Captain James Tiberius Kirk to voice a promo video because Bezos is a Star Trek geek. That help put us over the top, you think?
I'm not sure. I know there's a website that's been set up called Chicago is All In to help drive social media and things, pushing to get Amazon's attention and bring them to Chicago.
Oh, is that a hashtag? Chicago's All In.
It's actually a website.
Oh my gosh!
What's the time horizon on Amazon's decision?
It's still a ways out. You know, they've narrowed it down to, you know, the final 20. They're touring around, looking at a lot of sites, negotiating with cities. So it's still, you're not talking. It's probably, you know, you're not talking till potentially even next year.
But it would be a huge deal to get it here in Chicago.
It would be a huge deal because you're talking potentially 50,000 jobs over the next 5 years is what they're estimating. So it would be a huge win for whoever gets it. It's interesting, within each of the cities, there's a group of people that want Amazon there, and there's also a group of people that don't want Amazon there. I know here in Georgia, I'm in Atlanta, you know, in the last week, there's been a number of articles with people saying, we don't want Amazon here.
And it's
obviously the business leaders do.
And the we don't want Amazon here is why? Because of the giveaways, because of the infrastructure, the
driving up
the density.
Housing.
Well, if you own a
that's
house,
what they
that's
said
a good thing.
Yeah, but if you don't own one,
yeah. Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of people that really like Amazon, and there are also people that don't like Amazon. They don't think they deserve to get any money. You know, the profit in the fourth quarter was something like $170 billion. And so to give away the type of funds that many cities are offering them, people don't believe that, you know, they don't believe that Amazon should get any money to come to the cities. The Koch brothers, who I heard you mentioned earlier, they put out commercials basically saying that Amazon doesn't deserve to get any money for any of these cities. And trying to stir up public opinion against Amazon getting these types of subsidies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's that rent-seeking people opposed to rent-seeking behavior, and well, you know, some businesses get these giveaways, and other businesses don't, and the government decides. I can see how that rankles some people. It rankles me. What's the what does this come down to? I mean, just again, I know we've talked about this before, but just frame it for people in terms of what you think the mind's eye of Bezos and his team is in terms of making this determination.
Well, I think that Amazon's got a pretty unique culture with a lot of talent. So they're really looking for cities that have a lot of workforce talent. They're looking at the cost of living. They're looking at the infrastructure. What is the traffic picture? What is the transportation picture? Do you have a good airport? And of course, they're also looking at how much are you going to pay me to come? So those are really, and the site locations are also very important. So those are really the main criteria that they're evaluating as they make the decision.
He is John Haber, founder and CEO of Spend Management Experts, with his reviews on Amazon's reviewing of the various bids they've gotten from around the country and the final 20 they're down to. John, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your insights.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.Pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Ariana Grande needs to put some clothes on. was up there in a sweatshirt. It was cold in D.C. this weekend. Forecast for today, we're not going to have that kind of cold because the temperature is going up, up, and up, and up. It is 32 degrees, but we are going to a high of 50 degrees, which we should hit at the end of the day. But with that comes some rain after 5 o'clock. And then tonight, showers, and then tomorrow, showers likely in the morning, and then otherwise cloudy by the afternoon, still warm, a high of 57 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. 8094 eastbound. It is jammed solid. Burnham to Kennedy Avenue. The latest with the crash there has 3 right lanes blocked. You see it on the jam cam. Southbound Tri-State's a little heavy. Lawrence to the O'Hare Oasis. Northbound 147th near Crawford. From the Stevenson to Ogden, it's very heavy. Then from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, it's from Reagan Tollway, a bit tight, Winfield Road to Naperville Road. The Veterans Memorial from 63rd to the Reagan Tollway and Lake to 290. Inbound Eisenhower. That long-term road work now in place from Ogden to the Circle in the left lane. Looking at an hour and 16 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour and 3 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 38 minutes to 390. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Oak to the junction. Outbound 25. Kennedy, 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 40. Stevenson, 59 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. And the Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 Bishop Ford, much lighter than normal. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, Radioland, Ken here from Income Store. Did you know making money is like a combination lock? If you know the numbers and the proper order of the numbers, it has to open. The lock doesn't know or care if you're 8 or 80 years old. It has to open. Making money is the same way. When you know the steps and know the right order for the steps, revenue generation has to happen. As we like to say at Income Store, if you know the steps to take and you take the steps, revenue will be created. For close to a decade, we have proved to thousands of households and businesses that adding an additional revenue stream is not magic or luck. Both Forbes and Inc. praise Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to creating revenue for a home or business. If you'd like to see exactly how anyone from a teenager with more time than money to an executive with more money than time can add a revenue stream to their home or business, just open one of the 2 entry doors you'll find at incomestore.com. That's incomestore.com.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Everyone needs to make smart financial decisions, and Townstone Financial can help. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. I always say Townstone cares about you more than any other mortgage company. So what if I told you that Townstone loves to talk to its customers? It's 2018. The internet is great for many things. However, until artificial intelligence can figure out if your condominium can be approved or correctly calculate your bonus and commission income, it's really a good idea to let the experts at Townstone Financial help you with your next refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgage. Since our time is free and so is our expert advice. Keep in mind, you are not paying a penny more in closing costs or interest rate for our knowledge and guidance. We pride ourselves on beating the big banks every day on closing costs and interest rates. And remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me, Barry Sterner, today at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639, equal housing lender.
A leaky roof is not good for your home or business. Need repair?
Call Crumweedy.
Call Crumweedy to fix your roof or to book your new roof now so you're ready for the storms of the new year. And get a luxury vacation for 2, cruise or resort with a qualifying purchase.
Woohoo!
a great roof, siding, or windows, and a vacation.
This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
A third-generation family business.
We're conservative just like you.
The difference is installation.
Hey, we know that. That's why we follow the manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is totally intact.
A lot of companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options, then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
myroofisneedy.com. Hey, do it now.
Crumweedy. We fix roof problems.
Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty is here. With new beauty steals every day, it's beauty's biggest event, which means it's also beauty's biggest makeup bag makeover event. And beauty's biggest, is that price real, event. And beauty's biggest, well, you get the point. At Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty, every day is a new chance to get up to 50% off our most loved brands, like IT Cosmetics, Tarte, and more. But the event ends April 7th, so hurry in to binge on beauty only at Ulta Beauty.
Hi, welcome to the Pier 1 Spring Dining and Easter Sale.
Oh, thank you.
There's some amazing deals here on Easter decor, beautiful spring dinnerware, table settings. Now, if you have any questions, please ask someone who works here. I'm just shopping.
Oh.
Table runners, come with me.
A lot of people are getting caught up in the Pier 1 Spring Dining and Easter Sale. Right now, get up to 30% off dinnerware, drinkware, dining tables and chairs, and Easter decor. Give your home that unique look you want for spring and save up to 30% now at Pier 1 Imports through March 31st.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Michael Bennett, the all-pro defensive end for Seahawks,
Seattle,
now the
right?
Philadelphia Eagles. He just got signed by Philly. He's a big Black Lives Matter guy. He's a kneeler.
He's a nail, and then also, too, he was slammed down on the ground in Vegas, remember, and they pulled out a gun.
Yeah. Yeah,
head,
and he thought it was because he was black, and it's a bunch of nonsense. But that's his attitude towards cops. Here's Michael Bennett talking about Black Lives Matter.
This says it all. I mean, through American history, we've been shown that black lives don't matter. I mean, we were slaves for 400 years. We didn't have civil rights to 1960. The last hanging in America was 1960 something. We never had equality when it came to school. Every day I wake up, I wonder would things be better for people that's not in my situation. It's definitely one of those issues that when you hear about people getting brutally murdered and people not getting convicted of it, it's a scary thought to be in this time and to see people that look like you not have opportunities, people that look like you get shot and murdered, and people get acquitted. It just shows you that as much as we think that times have changed, times haven't really changed. So we have to keep reminding you that Black Lives Matter, because every day I wake up, I'm reminded that Black lives don't matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, paraplegic lives matter too, and turns out that the thug here is Michael Bennett, allegedly. Michael Bennett indicted by a Harris County District Attorney's Office earlier this month for assaulting a paraplegic woman as he tried to get onto the field at last year's Super Bowl to celebrate with his brother.
Yeah, his brother plays for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Prosecutors allege he pushed through security personnel, including a 66-year-old woman in a wheelchair who was a state employee and who had told him to use a different entrance to access the field. Bennett is accused of pushing two other people, including another woman, and ignoring a request by a police officer to stop as he made his way onto the field.
No one was going to stop him. His camp claims that he had the credentials on to go onto the field, and they're saying, no, you didn't. That's why we're trying to stop you, and you pushed over a woman in a wheelchair.
Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo. It's very offensive to me that a man who's supposed to be an example professional athlete would think it's okay to treat people like this. He told people that Bennett, when he was pushing people around, including a 66-year-old woman in a wheelchair, you all must know who I am, and I can own this blank expletive. I'm going down to the field whether you like it or not.
Ooh.
There you go.
Well, the grand jury decided otherwise. The evidence was presented to them, and a grand jury handed down an indictment. So he is in Europe right now, and his attorney says that he's going to return today to turn himself in.
Good. And hopefully he'll be saddled with a felony conviction after this case is adjudicated, if everything that was described is in fact true, which I believe it is.
And, of course, the lefties are saying, no, this is just they're getting back at him for standing up to police, but I don't think that's the case.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's how you stand up to police, push a 66-year-old woman in a wheelchair around.
Who's a paraplegic.
Inspired.
Quadriplegic. Oh, my gosh. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk a little Stormy and a little omnibus spending and a little bit of Loyola basketball.
Yeah, and the kiddies go to Washington. But let's first go into the newsroom, say good morning to Dave Stewart, who is going to be filling in all week for Mike Scott. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Amy. Thank you, Dan. Among the stories we are watching in the newsroom today, authorities looking for the cause of a fire in Gary over the weekend that killed a young brother and sister. An off-duty Chicago cop was wounded when his gun accidentally went off while inside his personal vehicle near the police station. Governor Rauner calling J.B. Pritzker a tax cheat because he has offshore business holdings. In sports, Cubs over the Royals 5-3, White Sox over the Brewers 16-1. It's 8 o'clock.
Get out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump is going to order some Russians to leave. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
In response to the nerve agent attack on a former Russian spy on British soil, likely by Russia, the U.S. has ordered the expulsion of 60 Russian intelligence officers from the U.S. and the closure of the Russian consulate in Seattle due to its proximity to one of America's submarine bases and Boeing. A senior U.S. government official said the actions reduce the ability of Russia to spy in the U.S. and send a message that the U.S. stands in solidarity with our NATO allies. Dave?
John, we just got a tweet. The president wrote so much fake news, but through it all, our country's doing great. This the morning after Stormy Daniels was on CBS 60 Minutes.
He knows I'm telling the truth.
The porn star says she had one sexual encounter with Donald Trump in 2006. Then 5 years later, Daniels claims someone threatened her in a Las Vegas parking lot to stop talking about the encounter. Before the election, she signed the non-disclosure agreement.
Because they made it sound like I had no choice.
Well, she's now trying to invalidate that. The president's attorney paid her $130,000, he says, from his own pocket, and Michael Cohen's lawyer sent her a cease and desist letter to stop talking about him. A gun manufacturer is taking a shot at bankruptcy. Fox's Eben Brown has this live.
Yeah, Dave, Remington is perhaps the oldest American firearms manufacturer, and it's filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company's sales have dropped off significantly, and further, Remington is being sued in a Connecticut court as it is the maker of the Bushmaster series of modern hunting rifle used in the Sandy Hook shooting. Bankruptcy puts that lawsuit on hold as they reorganize their company, Dave.
Yeah, but a police officer was shot and wounded in Austin, Texas just before midnight. Another officer was also injured in the rush to escape the gunfire.
Both of our officers are facing non-life-threatening injuries. I believe they are stable at this time.
Austin Police Chief Brian Manley, the suspect, was shot and killed. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 32 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer, WIND Chicago. I'm David Stewart. Cloudy, breezy, milder today. We'll see a high of 51. Police are trying to determine what caused a fire in Gary, Indiana that killed a young brother and sister. That blaze broke out yesterday inside an apartment building in the 5800 block of Forest Court. An 8-year-old boy jumped from the burning fourth floor into a blanket held by neighbors. One man is dead after a crash on the city's far south side. Authorities say Christopher Cardenas was driving early yesterday when he lost control and hit a telephone pole near South Avenue O and 118th Street. Cardenas died at the scene. An off-duty Chicago police officer wounded after an accidental shooting on the north side. Authorities say it happened last night outside the Lincoln District Police Station when the weapon accidentally went off inside the officer's personal vehicle. The victim suffered a graze wound to the right leg. One man killed, at least 17 other people wounded in a series of shootings across the city of Chicago since Friday night. The fatal shooting happened early Sunday in the Back of the Yards neighborhood. The man was found with a gunshot wound to the head about 4 in the morning in the 1900 block of West 52nd Street. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Governor Bruce Rauner's not wasting any time or words in his race for re-election. He used a campaign stopper in southern Illinois to call his Democratic opponent J.B. Pritzker a tax cheat. It's a reference to offshore accounts in Pritzker's name that came to light during the primary election. Rauner also has offshore accounts, but says he does not control them. In sports, Cactus League Baseball saw the Cubs over the Royals 5-3 in their final spring game. White Sox over the Brewers 16-1. Sox take on the Charlotte Knights in Charlotte today. In hockey, Blackhawks host the San Diego Sharks, and the Final Four matchups. Kansas Jayhawks meet Villanova on Saturday, and Michigan faces Loyola Chicago. AM 560 News Time 8:04. Time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Cosola.
From the Fox Business Network, the Finish Line sportswear chain is being sold to Britain's JD Sports Fashion. Finish Line is known for selling premium athletic shoes and clothing. It has 556 stores in the U.S. Finish Line is also the exclusive retailer of athletic shoes for Macy's. It has concessions inside Macy's stores. Have a Babies R Us registry? Toys R Us is urging you to take it elsewhere as soon as possible. Toys R Us says as of April 19th, it will no longer accept gift cards or other rewards. That means parents who signed up for the program expecting rewards after the baby's due date are out of luck. Babies R Us is offering a $10 credit to anyone who transfers. Bye Bye Baby is offering a 15% discount. The Dow was down 424 on Friday, NASDAQ down 174. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
AM 560 News Time 8:05. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Larry Elder doesn't understand the uproar over Tillerson's firing.
You know, Tillerson was opposed to moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Tillerson wants Trump to stay in the Iran Accord, thinks that the Iranians are abiding by the terms of the deal. He had to go. So I'm trying to understand what it is that's so disturbing about getting rid of somebody when he's not on the same wavelength that you are on policy issues.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
GoToMeeting is the collaborative meeting tool trusted by over 18 million monthly users. But how do we make the concept of 18 million more real for you? Well, if you wanted to travel 18 million miles, you could go to the moon and back 36 times and still have a few miles left over for a detour. $18 million could buy you 4.5 million non-fat iced lattes, which would keep you caffeinated from now until the end of your career. Or if you took 18 million standing desk breaks, well, you'd probably be in great shape. Visit GoToMeeting.com to learn why so many people trust us to help them get work done.
Hi, I'm Darla from Cintas.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. We have so much to do. I need fire extinguishers, right?
We'll place them for you and be out for regular inspection.
Great. And what about my new hires?
We'll get them into uniforms and keep them looking sharp.
What about this first aid cabinet?
Fully stocked.
It wasn't this morning.
It is now. And so are the restrooms.
Wow, Cintas really seems to know what we need.
You said it.
Oh, I'm ready. Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
At 8:07 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Eastbound 8094, traffic is jammed solid. The Bishop Ford Freeway to before Kennedy Avenue, where the jam cam shows an earlier crash has cleared out of the way. Tri-State southbound, heavy Lawrence to the O'Hare Oasis. Northbound, 147th to near Crawford, from the Stevenson to Ogden, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. It's on Reagan Tollway heavy from past 25 to the Aurora Toll. Veterans Memorial slow northbound, 63rd to the Reagan Tollway and Lake to 290. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 25. Kennedy, 36 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 40. The Eisenhower's an hour and 17 minutes, 390 to downtown, an hour 4 from Manheim, with long-term work now closing the left lane from Ogden to the Circle. Outbound 50 minutes to 390, crash at Circle Avenue in the 2 left lanes. Stevenson 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 5. Ryan 30 minutes, 95th to downtown, traffic service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next, but now the forecast, and here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Clouds increase today with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon and through the night. We'll have a high today 51. Periods of rain tonight with a low 45. Temperatures rising into the middle 50s overnight. Little morning rain for tomorrow, otherwise cloudy, high 57. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
35 now at the lakefront in Midway, 34 degrees at O'Hare. Next, news update 8:30. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and Stormy Daniels gave her big 60-minute interview last night.
They hyped
the porn
it.
star and the president. Porn star. The porn star and the president.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but they hyped it as if it was the Super Bowl. The exclusive interview everyone wants to see.
And, of course, the operative question, which Gloria Vanderbilt's kid did ask, is why are we here?
Yeah, what's the point?
For sitting here talking to me today, you could be fined $1 million. I mean, aren't you taking a big risk?
I am.
I guess I'm not 100% sure on why you're doing this.
Because it was very important to me to be able to defend myself.
Is part of talking wanting to set the record straight?
100%.
Why does the record need to be set straight?
Because people are just saying whatever they wanted to say about me. I was perfectly fine saying nothing at all. But I'm not okay with being made out to be a liar or people thinking that I did this for money. And people are like, oh, you're an opportunist. You're taking advantage of this. Yes, I'm getting more job offers now. But tell me one person who would turn down a job offer making more than they've been making, doing the same thing that they've always done.
A lot of people are using you for a lot of different agendas.
They're trying to. Like, oh, Stormy Daniels comes out, hashtag Me Too. This is not a Me Too.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things here. She's upset because she's not a liar, but we know she is a liar. She's already lied. Well, she's either lying now or she was lying when she signed that statement that said they had no affair.
Right.
So
she's done that 2 times, actually, which is strange.
Right, and she's been paid $130,000, so she is doing this for money. So, I mean, I know Anderson Cooper was probably entranced by Stormy and her compelling story, but aren't those obvious follow-ups? In point of fact, you're not a liar and you're not doing this for money. You've already lied and you've already gotten paid.
Well, Trump's people, after the interview, sent out, a copy of what she signed, swearing that she did not have an affair with the president, like you said. She went into great detail about the affair, the alleged affair. It sounds to me like it was real. They had one fling. She was 27 years old. He was 60. He met her at the same golf tournament where he met Karen McDougal. And she said when it started out, he was just, not started out, but when she went to his hotel room, she knew exactly what she was getting into. She said that when he started, hitting on her, she knew exactly where this was going to lead. And it involved some spanking with a magazine that he was on the cover of.
And so I was like, does this normally work for you? And he looked very taken back, like he didn't really understand what I was saying. Like, does just, talking about yourself normally work? And I was like, someone should take that magazine and spank you with it. And I'll never forget the look on his face. And he was like,
what was the look?
Just, I don't think anyone's ever spoken to him like that, especially, a young woman who looked like me. And I said, give me that. And I just remember going, you wouldn't. Hand it over. And so he did. And I was like, turn around, drop him.
You told Donald Trump to turn around and take off his pants?
Yes.
And did he?
Yes. So he turned around and pulled his pants down a little. He had underwear on and stuff, and I just gave him a couple swats.
This was done in a joking manner.
Vomiting at the march was
and from that moment on, he was a completely different person.
How so?
He quit talking about himself, and he asked me things, and I asked him things, and it just became like, a more appropriate.
Yeah.
Became more comfortable.
Yeah. He's like, wow.
Yeah.
You you are special. You remind me of my daughter. He's like, you're smart, beautiful, and a woman to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
Just
wrapping somebody in the ass is a real icebreaker. And then you can have the adult conversation afterwards where you talk about your interests, what movies do you like, and what kind of music do you listen to, and all that. This is fascinating. It's really fascinating.
The only part for me where I thought, you know what, this is what I wanted to hear about. They kept saying that she was threatened physically when actually it was her daughter who was threatened. She was trying, so that they had an affair in 2006. She was trying to get on Celebrity Apprentice. That didn't work. Then she sold her story to In Touch magazine for $15,000. They interviewed her. They never paid her. That's why all this is kind of old news. But what's new news, and what I learned last night in the interview, is when she was trying to sell her story again, somebody approached her at the gym.
I was in a parking lot going to a fitness class with my infant daughter. I was taking, the seats facing backwards in the back seat, diaper bag, getting all the stuff out. And a guy walked up on me and said to me, leave Trump alone, forget the story. And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, it's a beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom. And then he was gone.
You took it as a direct threat?
Absolutely. I was rattled. I remember going into the workout class and my hands were shaking so much I was afraid I was going to drop her.
Did you ever see the person again?
No. But if I did, I would know it right away. I'll never forget it.
You'd be able to recognize that person?
100%. Yeah. Even now, all these years later.
And Michael Cohen said,
yeah,
they had nothing to do with that.
Can't wait for the movie. It's great stuff. Also, probing questions from Gloria Vanderbilt's kid. Do we know if they had nicknames for each other?
No, he didn't ask that. He asked Karen McDougal that. My beautiful Karen.
Yeah, okay. So there you go. Stormy Daniels, Trump built into the price. Is it not? Not a defense of Trump. Well, I wonder what, thinking about this, I wonder what Gary Hart thinks about what's happened in politics over the last 25 years, watching Bill Clinton and then fast forwarding to Donald Trump. And I was like,
hey, I'm over here.
I was 10 years too early. Jessica Hahn today, that's positive child's play. Wasn't it Jessica Hahn?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
She's
right.
Good looking.
Yeah, I mean, nobody would care if I just waited 10 years to run for president or if I just waited 25 years to run for president.
With this new information, they're trying, because they had somebody on who was saying, with this information, we're finding out whether or not Michael Cohen used campaign contributions to pay off Stormy Daniels, because she claims it was hush money.
Was it hush money to stay silent?
Yes. The story was coming out again. I was concerned for my family and their safety.
I think some people watching this are going to doubt that you entered into this negotiation because you feared for your safety. They're going to think that you saw an opportunity.
I think the fact that I didn't even negotiate, I just quickly said yes to this very, strict contract, and what most people will agree with me, extremely low number, is all the proof.
You don't know anything of the sort, and you were represented by counsel. This is stupidity.
Yeah, who's lost their license since.
Alan in Rockford, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, guys. Since Bill Clinton, somebody needs to remind her that we don't really care. And now I hope that she wasn't actually threatened and that she's just being the actress and reciting lines from Ray Donovan or something like that. But the fact of the matter is that we don't really care, and she put herself into this position. Why should we care?
Well, there's reason to care, because the president has put himself in this position too.
That's true.
His 30 years of being a moral reprobate have caught up with him in some respects, and so it's not helpful.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't he just own it and say, you know what? I did have an affair. And instead they're saying, he did not have a relationship with her. I believe Stormy Daniels. I'm sorry. I know she's not the most credible person in the world. I know she's got a job that's morally, whatever. It's her decision. It's not illegal, but I would never do that. And I just own it. I had an affair with Karen McDougal. I had an affair with Stormy Daniels. It was 10 years. It was long before I was president. I've learned from my mistakes. Be done with it.
Robert in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, it seems to me like it was obvious extortion on her part. I mean, she brought it up. But more importantly, it's good to have a warm glass of buttermilk when you have head cheese sandwich.
Okay,
Wow.
Thanks for the call, Robert. Sean in Elmwood Park, as if this is going to be better.
Well, I'll tell you what, boy. Listen, there were so many things I loved in that whole segment. The most disgusting part, though, was after the pants came off, then he says, "You remind me of my daughter." That needs a therapist right there. But I want to meet the guy. You said in the beginning, if she talks, she could risk losing $1 million. Find the accountant that can figure out how to get $1 million from a porno starlet whose pupils are the size of my watch face. Because last night she was giving lap dances for $30. You really think she's got $1 million to throw around? Go ahead. Put him in charge of the kids who are stiff in their school loans, too. And that's what this is, a distraction to prevent you from realizing exactly what happened with the omnibus. And I was listening as that morphodite from Crystal Lake talks about.
To prevent you from understanding, what are you talking about? I mean, you think
you realize that
I'm not. You think Trump orchestrated the 60 Minutes interview?
No.
I think that the Republicans did.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think. First of all, I think Trump is strapped in like Rahm Emanuel in a baby seat. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. But I do think the Republicans want to distract you. I do think they want to prevent you from realizing what that morphodite in Crystal Lake said. They doubled the military spending. Doubled the military spending. If you add up the top 5 countries, including China, Russia, Japan, all the ones that everybody's afraid of, we're still tens of billions above them. Add them all up. That's what they want, because where's the money? Where is all the money? That's what they want. So now everyone's talking about Stormy Daniels. The only thing she ever did that was interesting was Operation Stormy, which I thought was one of her best films. Gave a whole new definition of waterboarding, however.
Thank you for that review there, Gene Shalit for porn. Lee in Hammond.
Yeah, hi. You know, over and over again, what strikes me in all these exposés on Trump, it seemed like a never-ending thing, is the hypocrisy of the media and the left. That if it's a conservative or Republican, oh man, it's front page news. But if it's a Democrat, forget about it. You're never going to hear about it. That's the one thing that always comes through with these stories.
Well, I don't know. I think we hear about it on both sides. Thanks for the call, Lee. And I mean, obviously the entire Clinton presidency, and subsequently, I think you hear about it. I think you hear about it a lot on both sides. And I think, frankly, the fact that these allegations are so readily dismissed that most people don't care about it, I think that's less a function. I mean, it to some extent the media's contributed to the degradation of the culture, of course, but we've also accepted it. I mean, I just don't hear a lot of people getting worked up over this.
No, and people that love Trump still love Trump, and the people that hate him still hate him.
Yeah.
It didn't move the needle either way. I just, and most of the information was old information because we read the In Touch article, but what was new was about the threats and why she did sign it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and this is one encounter. How much?
Right.
A decade
so it happened
ago?
in 2006. Then she met him again
12
because
years
she
ago?
was
Yeah.
at the Beverly Hills, and all they did was sit around for 4 hours and watch Shark Week.
No, it's just a nice Saturday.
And then he called her and said, "I can't. The NBC won't let you be on Celebrity Apprentice."
Gee, I wonder why. Prostitute with a heart of gold. What a great story. Ed in LaGrange.
Good morning. I think just in response to Amy's question as to why Trump just wasn't own up to it and admit it, it probably has to do with the prenup he signed with Melania. And to paraphrase Steve Martin, he doesn't want to lose half his stuff.
Okay, thanks for the call, Ed.
Melania, speaking of Melania, her spokeswoman issued a statement. Melania Barron were in Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago for their traditional spring break together. President Trump home alone, and tweeted last night around 8 o'clock. While I know the media is enjoying speculation and salacious gossip, I'd like to remind people there's a minor child whose name should be kept out of news stories when at all possible.
Well, who's talking about Barron? Nobody. I mean, Melania knew what she was getting into. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Megan on the South Side.
Hi, guys. I just think it's convenient that the left had this purge this year of all their bad actors. Just seems kind of like an appropriate lead up to this Stormy, interview. I mean, it seems to me like maybe that's why they did all this on the left,
Well, I don't know about that. Thanks for the comment. You're giving people a lot of credit for orchestration that you otherwise think are incompetent. I mean, this is why the conspiracy theories are so often unfounded, is because, it takes a lot to put these things together that some people suggest are being put together. The idea that this is the year we're going to go after Harvey Weinstein and everybody else in Hollywood that we've known are either boorish or even criminal predators, because we want to kind of work our way back around to Trump. Come on, no, that's not what's happening. And Trump wouldn't be in this situation if he didn't spend the last 30 years behaving like he's behaved. I mean, this has been splashed all over New York tabloids for 3 decades. Can we stop pretending to be surprised? But also, can we stop pretending that Trump isn't the moral reprobate that we know he is? That's all. Understand what you've accepted. Scott in the West Side.
How's it going?
Oh.
The thing that I find so humorous about this is I think everybody's losing touch of the fact that Stormy Daniels is a porn star and a prostitute.
Yeah.
You know, he saw a prostitute, 13 years ago? And people act like it's some amazing thing. But yet you have somebody like the Kardashians' one husband or whatever who goes to the Bunny Ranch and spends $75,000 doing the same things. And everybody's just like, oh, it's no big deal. No, who cares? He did something 13 years ago. We all know what his reputation is with women. So, give it a rest already. Every time she starts to disappear in the news, it becomes, oh, let's add a new headline to it. Now it's, I was threatened, or now it was, it's always something else.
All right, thanks for the call,
and the
Scott.
slow drip and teasing that they have some photographs. Her attorney tweeted a picture with a disc.
The disc pic.
The disc pic. Yeah, I got stuff on a disc.
What
from 2006.
I haven't kept up with my Kardashian viewing.
Oh, that was Lamar Odom.
Oh, yeah.
And they were separated at the time.
Oh,
and
wow.
He went to the Bunny Ranch, and she went there, and they saved him because he was about to die.
Well, and Lamar Odom is not running for president, at least not yet.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
God is back in basketball, and Loyola, those players are sort of being recognized. A funny story coming up. But first, here's your forecast. Plenty of sunshine right now, and it is 34 degrees, going up to a high of 50. We'll hit our high around 5 o'clock tonight. That's when it'll be accompanied by some storms. And then Stormy Daniel. Tonight, showers mainly after 8 p.m. And then tomorrow, you're going to wake up to some rain. And then clouds by the afternoon, a high of 57 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Traffic is lighter than usual on most of the expressways and tollways, but not the inbound Eisenhower, with long-term road work now closing the left lane from Ogden to the Burn Circle for circle reconstruction. It's an hour and 15 minutes, 390 to downtown, 59 minutes from Manheim. Outbound at 390, it's 37 minutes to crash at Circle Avenue on the right shoulder. Edens is 19 minutes. Lake Oak to Montrose, outbound 25 at Kennedy. It's 36 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound it's 40. Inbound Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 5 to 34. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, clear sailing. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, just a little sluggish. Belmont to North Avenue. Northbound from Stevenson to Balboa. Tri-State northbound delays are from Archer to Ogden and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway stop and go. Barrington Road to Roselle. There's police activity on the right shoulder. Other tollways are good. Eastbound 8094 still heavy. The Bishop Ford to Calumet Avenue after a crash. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
I plan on taking this the rest of my life because until I started taking your stuff, I never took as many fruits and vegetables in a day as I get through you guys. You know, I'm very, very, very satisfied.
My pain and it went away. I swear to you that that's the truth.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Looking to secure a mortgage? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Abby, millennial, purchasing a home. So her father, Sal, recommended she secure a Team Hochberg approval before speaking with a realtor. Abby naturally consulted with her friends who've never purchased a home before and applied online. Abby called her dad because the online lender wasn't responding to her emails. Sal told her to stop messing around with the online lender and call Team Hochberg, the only lender he trusted to help his daughter. We approved Abby to purchase a home, and Team Hochberg's real estate experts found Abby the perfect home. The internet's great for purchasing socks, shoes, and underpants, not mortgages. When securing a mortgage, you can either waste your time getting terrible service from online lenders, or you can call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Anxious for spring and sunshine? So is Joe Cotton Ford. Celebrate the warmer weather with a brand new American-made Ford truck from Joe Cotton. Check out the Ford F-150, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, with enhanced intuitive infotainment features. The Ford F-150 has earned the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's 5-star safety rating. For 41 years, the best truck running, and Joe Cotton Ford has the best selection, with special leasing offers that'll put some spring in your step. As always, every vehicle purchased comes with the Joe Cotton Advantage that goes above and beyond what the manufacturer offers. It'll help you save on maintenance, vehicle protection, and more. And at Joe Cotton, you'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure, just like generations of customers that keep coming back. Truly a different vehicle buying experience. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and celebrate spring with a new Ford car, truck, or SUV today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
Hey Radioland, Ken here from Income Store. Did you know making money is like a combination lock? If you know the numbers and the proper order of the numbers, it has to open. The lock doesn't know or care if you're 8 or 80 years old. It has to open. Making money is the same way. When you know the steps and know the right order for the steps, revenue generation has to happen. As we like to say at Income Store, if you know the steps to take and you take the steps, revenue will be created. For close to a decade, we have proved to thousands of households and businesses that adding an additional revenue stream is not magic or luck. Both Forbes and Inc. praise Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to creating revenue for a home or business. If you'd like to see exactly how anyone from a teenager with more time than money to an executive with more money than time can add a revenue stream to their home or business, just open one of the 2 entry doors you'll find at incomestore.com. That's incomestore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
The only thing surprising about the Stormy Daniels interview is that 60 Minutes didn't wait to air it on Easter Sunday.
Oh, no.
I'm
They
surprised
did it
about
yesterday after
Yeah.
NCAA basketball. A lot of viewers. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk about the kids marching to confiscate guns in D.C. this weekend with Steve Cortez, CNN political commentator, at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Dave Stewart filling in all week for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 34 degrees in Chicago. 8:31 at AM 560, The Answer. Cloudy, breezy, milder today. We'll see a high of 51. Adult film actress Stormy Daniels says she was threatened to remain silent about the alleged affair with Donald Trump. Daniels told CBS 60 Minutes that an unknown man approached her in a Las Vegas parking lot in 2011 while she was with her infant daughter. Her attorney, Michael Avenatti, provided more details on MSNBC this morning.
She, was taken by how attractive he was, and she immediately remembered what he looked like. And then, of course, this threat happened and terrified her.
Daniels said the man told her to leave Trump alone and then looked at her daughter and said, "That's a beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." Dozens are dead after a fire in a shopping mall in Russia. Reports say as many as 60 people may have lost their lives in a mall in Siberia, about 2,000 miles from Moscow, when the blaze broke out Sunday. No cause of that fire has been revealed. One man killed, at least 17 others wounded in a series of shootings across Chicago since Friday night. The fatal shooting happened early Sunday in the back of the Yards neighborhood. That man was found with a gunshot wound to the head about 4 in the morning in the 1900 block of West 52nd Street. He was pronounced dead at the scene. 8 people were shot just since Sunday morning, including 3 teens in separate incidents. An off-duty Chicago police officer is recovering after an accidental shooting on the north side. Authorities say the incident happened last night outside the Lincoln District Police Station when the weapon was accidentally fired inside the officer's personal vehicle. The victim suffered a graze wound to the right leg. In sports, in preseason Cactus League baseball, Cubs over the Royals 5-3. It's the final spring game for the Cubs. White Sox over the Brewers 16-1. Sox take on the Charlotte Knights in Charlotte today. Hockey, Blackhawks host to San Jose. The Final Four matchups, Kansas and Villanova on Saturday, and Michigan versus Loyola Chicago. The news and service of Staples. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printings. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner and find your ink in stock every time and at a low price every day, so you can meet every deadline. At Staples, it's pro time. AM 560 News Time, 8:33. A check of traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher explains why Trump's approval rating is going up.
Phony, plastic, fake politicians just read scripts. They're not real. They're not authentic. This is what is so appealing to so many people about President Trump. His authentic delivery, his authentic self.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text RADIO to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text RADIO to 82,000 right now because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. Text RADIO to 82,000. That's RADIO to 82,000.
At 8:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. West side, eastbound North Avenue remains closed. Keeler to Kentdale after early morning crash. Edens is 19 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 23. Kennedy, inbound delays start at Montrose. 41 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 31 from Montrose, 30 in the Express, outbound 30 to the airport. Eisenhower is jammed. St. Charles to the Tri-State and First Avenue to the Circle with road work now from Ogden to the Circle in the left lane long term. An hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. 51 minutes from Manheim, outbound 37 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound clear. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. The outbound side is fine. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, Belmont crash report. It's a little heavy in that area. On the Tri-State Tollway, heavy northbound Archer to Ogden after a crash. Eastbound Adams tollway delays. Barrington to Roselle with police activity on the right shoulder. Other tollways are fine. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast. Turning cloudy, breezy, milder today with a high of 51. Cloudy and breezy this evening, some periods of rain and a low of 45. Rain in the morning tomorrow, then a cloudy day with a high of 57. Right now it's 34 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 9 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so all the stars were out in D.C. until they had to observe Earth Hour later that evening. To recite the left's talking points about gun confiscation. And the big star, the biggest of the big stars, is not one of the Hollywood celebs. It's this kid from Parkland named David Hogg, who had this to say to you old fuddy-duddies who aren't getting gun control done.
The cold grasp of corruption shackles the District of Columbia.
The winter is over. Change is here. The sun shines on a new day, and the day is ours. For the first-time voters show up 18% of the time at midterm elections. Not anymore. Now, who here is going to vote in the 2018 election? If you listen real close, you can hear the people in power shaking. They've gotten used to being protective of their position, choosing the safety of inaction. Inaction is no longer safe, and to that we say, no more.
Yeah.
Who's scared?
Yeah, budding Chuck Schumer there on the dais. Now, others, though, that get given less profile, Kyle Keshev, who also is a Parkland survivor, who is only allowed to appear on Fox News. He had this to say about his classmate and the march on Saturday.
I was at the march itself, and I saw this extremely anti-GOP. One of the most biggest causes of this entire march is being anti-Republican, and we've seen that in the marches itself. A lot of the things that David Hogg has said are egregious and inflammatory. I don't think that the NRA has that much evil power that it's been putting on politicians. I don't. It's led by 5.5 million people who back it, and I really don't think that what David Hogg is saying right now is true, and I don't think what he's doing is positive for the American people. I think if he truly cared about the American people, he would sit down and he would talk to legislators and he would get all aspects of the discussion, and then he would act. Because what we see here, guns aren't the issue, okay? It's everything surrounding acquiring a weapon.
John Hinraker in Powerline had an interesting comment about Hogg. He said, he reminds me of Cindy Sheehan, i.e. he'll have absolute moral authority until he becomes a liability to the Democratic Party, at which point he'll never be heard of again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they gave him a number of platforms. I mean, Good Morning America, you have to hear what he said. This is about the Maryland shooter. He wants to, take people's guns away, but the Maryland shooter was stopped because there was an armed security guard.
I had to relive a lot of the previous memories that I had from my school shooting. Everybody takes grief their own way, but for me it was more infuriating realizing that because that was a person with a gun, and in reality, were they taken out by law enforcement? Yes, and I'm so glad that they were, but they shouldn't have had to do that in the first place. It's due to a lack of in-training, a mental health care problem, a gun control problem, and an American problem is what we have here.
Right, now it's like reciting talking points, canned answers.
Well, he's a leftist automaton, and that's exactly what the left wants him to be. For more on this topic and others, we're pleased to be joined by Steve Cortez, CNN political commentator and former head of President Trump's Hispanic Advisory Council. Steve, thanks for being with us.
You bet. Thanks for having me. And an NRA member, by the way.
Oh, and an NRA member. All right.
Evil. Should we have him on the show?
Yeah, blood on your hands. All right. So your reviews on the march and the energy that the left is putting into these kids to keep the energy up for the midterms.
Right. Well, first let me say, of course I respect their First Amendment right to protest. It's incredibly important to the American experiment. I would also say that there won't be a First Amendment if there's not a Second Amendment. I really believe, as the NRA often says, that it's the right that protects all other rights because it's not about hunting. It's about self-defense, and that can be self-defense against a criminal, against an invader, against a tyrant, against anyone who would try to steal our liberty. And one of those precious liberties is freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom to convene and protest. So all of those are protected by an armed citizenry. Thank goodness our founding fathers knew that. And this young man, I think, unfortunately, though, takes that right of free speech and uses it to constantly preach to us and to talk down to us and tell us that we're to blame, gun-owning Americans, NRA members. We're to blame for that awful tragedy that happened in Parkland instead of, A, the shooter, and B, law enforcement, which failed at every single level in this awful case. And for the life of me, I don't know how Sheriff Israel still has a job, that he hasn't been forced by public pressure to resign. The number of times that they fumbled on this case where they clearly could have intervened and at least made it difficult, if not impossible.
And the Broward County Sheriff, and the Broward County Sheriff's Office tweeted out support for the Parkland students at the march. Nobody tweeted out support for Kyle Kashuff, who was a survivor of Parkland either, too. So it just speaks again to this is about moving a political agenda. Can we just be honest about it? The evidence is overwhelming.
And then some at the march.
And Kyle, sorry.
Well, some at the march wore price tags. They took the money that Senator Rubio received from the NRA and divided it by all the millions of young people in Florida, and everyone had a price tag that said $1.05. I mean, clearly they're trying to vilify the NRA, weapons confiscations. But do you think that this movement's going to produce any real change?
Well, I sure hope not, and I don't think so. Really, I do think that Americans generally are very reasonable on guns, and regarding a couple issues there, I'm glad you brought that up, Amy. Number one is that Rubio, bent over backwards to try to be as reasonable as he could. He, I think, very bravely went to that CNN town hall, which was as hostile an environment as a pro-gun Republican could face. So I respect him for doing it. But at the same time, I guess I'd also point out to him and to others is that they're not interested in being reasonable. That's not what it's about. It's about political theater. And they vilify him even more than people who didn't go, which I think just shows that this isn't about logic. It's not about our rights. It's about their agenda. And if you don't conform, you're evil and you're bloody, literally. And to the point of money too, and I'm glad you brought that up because it's really absurd. The NRA's power, despite what they said at that march, the NRA's power does not emanate from its supposedly giant cache of money. NRA total spending in politics is a drop in the bucket compared to total spending in politics. People like the unions, like Big Pharma, even individuals like the Koch brothers or Tom Steyer. I mean, the NRA's spending doesn't even come close to that level of spending. But it is powerful. Why? Because of millions of law-abiding, gun-carrying Americans who believe in liberty because of a tradition in this country of armed citizens. And that's where the power of the NRA comes from, not from this supposedly massive war chest, financial war chest.
I learned this yesterday, so you want to get your reaction to it, about this young woman who considered becoming a journalist, who likes to ride horses, care for her 7-year-old daughter.
Late night sushi and walks along the beach?
Yeah, this fascinating hagiographic review of Stormy Daniels in New York Times before she appeared on 60 Minutes yesterday. I mean, it's the great prostitute with a heart of gold story, Steve. I mean, who couldn't fall in love with this?
Right. Well, look, I still think this is such a diversion tactic of the opponents of President Trump and of left-leaning media. And look, I'll be the first to admit it's got all the ingredients, right, for a good, tawdry, salacious story. So, I mean, I get the attention, I do. But in terms of actual relevance today, what Donald Trump did or didn't do in the boudoir 12 years ago with a porn star, to me, is of zero relevance today to what he's doing as president. And on top of that, as you say, it's fascinating that the accusers of Bill Clinton, were relegated to bimbo status by the media immediately, discredited, disparaged. And look at the difference now. Now we have someone who makes porn for a living, somebody who has repeatedly contradicted herself, and within recent weeks, by the way, not even, going way, way back. I mean, has repeatedly contradicted herself on the record. And yet she's being held out as a saint and a victim. And, I would also point this out. The idea that she's a victim, if her story's true, and I have no idea if it is, and I don't frankly care, but if it is, she had consensual sex.
Well, she's married. But she's rejected the idea she's a victim. She's not even saying
she's
that.
Not a Me Too movement. But
okay, but that theme is very prevalent in mainstream media, that she's been bullied, right?
Well, they tried to connect her to the Me Too movement, and she was threatened, she claims, in the parking lot of her gym when she wanted to try and sell her story. But do you honestly believe that President Trump didn't have an affair with her 10 years ago?
Look, I have no idea. But again, I don't care about the relevance. I just don't. I think that President Trump, everyone, myself included, everyone knew that President Trump has had a very colorful life, right? A Hollywood mogul, in many ways, TV star, married 3 times. Clearly, women and money were big themes of his life for a long time. I think two things are important to me. Number one, I think he's changed. I truly do. I think the process of running, the people he's surrounded himself, people like Mike Pence, I think he's a very different man. I think he's a prayerful man now, which he certainly was not before. And I'm not saying he's Mother Teresa at all, but I'm saying he's a different guy, number one. But number two, these were known knowns. Nobody believed that we were voting for a pastor-in-chief or for St. Francis of Assisi to take the Oval Office. So there's nothing. There was no con involved here, in other words, from Trump voters. I think that what we knew was we're getting an outsider, a businessman, an agitator, a disruptor, and clearly somebody who had, a very colorful past. So, honestly, I don't have any idea. To me, that's not about – it's almost not my business. That's between him and Melania. It has no relevance to public policy, to his performance as a politician.
Well, let's talk about that agitator and that disruptor and the guy who's going to drain the swamp. And you square that with signing that $1.3 trillion omnibus legislation on Friday that has obviously, by definition, no spending restraint, no Obamacare fixes, no border security, and nothing resembling draining the swamp.
Right. Dan, listen, I don't criticize the president often, but there's no way I can try to put lipstick on that pig. That bill was awful. He should have vetoed it. I think he really wrestled with it. I understand why he signed it because of the military, but I wish he hadn't, quite frankly. And the idea to me that we've got $500 million for Planned Parenthood coming out of a Republican Congress and a pro-life president, a really pro-life president, and yet we have a pittance for the wall, which was a foundational premise of his whole candidacy. To me, that's an outrage. Now, I do blame President Trump. I put more blame on Hill Republicans, though. And to me, McConnell, Ryan, the difference between them and Pelosi and Schumer is just a hair's difference. And I believe that the Republicans are going to lose the House, and perhaps badly in the fall. And quite frankly, after this bill, they deserve to.
Well, I mean, this is the problem. I mean, you're not only on the substance, but on the politics of it. It's almost like they want to lose the majorities because you see the energy on the other side. You saw it on display over the weekend in D.C., and all this is going to do is further depress GOP and conservative participation.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, look, I'm as ardent a Trump supporter as you can find, and I'm depressed about this, right? I mean, this is tough for me to take. So imagine a more marginal, Trump supporter or somebody leaning kind of Republican, or, the 2016 voters who came out of the woods. And there was a lot of them, a lot of first-time voters, people, well into the middle and older ages who had never voted, who were motivated by this 2016 movement. It's going to be really hard, in my view. I hope I'm wrong, but it's going to be really hard to motivate them in 2018, in a few months, just given what they just saw happen. And that was the swamp won. This round. Now, again, I'm not giving up. It's a long battle. I think there's a lot more rounds to come, which I think the swamp will lose. But the swamp won this one, and it's dispiriting. There's no way, I don't mean to be a bummer on a Monday morning, but I don't know any other way to say it.
All right. He is Steve Cortez, CNN political commentator and former head of President Trump's Hispanic Advisory Council. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet. Have a great week.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan Proft here, and you're invited to join me at the Judson University World Leaders Forum on April 19th. This year, the forum features former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich and former Governor of Vermont Howard Dean. The topic of this year's forum, a bipartisan conversation about leadership in divided times. The World Leaders Forum features two events, a community event held at Judson University in Elgin at 2 p.m. on April 19th, to hear from both Newt Gingrich and Howard Dean before a Q&A session. Then at 5 p.m. that evening, the World Leaders Forum continues at the Hilton Chicago Hotel at a signature VIP reception featuring a photo opportunity with both Newt Gingrich and Howard Dean. A portion of the ticket is tax deductible, with proceeds funding the Judson Leadership Scholarships, innovative entrepreneurial activities, and sustaining the World Leaders Forum. I'm excited to be moderating this year's event, so join me at the Judson University World Leaders Forum with Newt Gingrich and Howard Dean. Get your tickets today at judsonu.edu/WLF. That's judsonu.edu/WLF.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For decades, our country has lived through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Our factories were shuttered, our steel mills closed down, and our jobs were stolen away and shipped far away to other countries, some of which you've never even heard of.
And who's responsible for those lost jobs? Career politicians. Senator Joe Donnelly profited from Mexican labor, and Congressman Todd Rokita and Luke Messer, they voted to fast-track Obama's trade deals. Donnelly, Rokita, and Messer let Indiana jobs go to China and Mexico and sat on their hands. We can't trust them to bring good jobs back. Businessman Mike Braun, conservative, Christian, Mike Braun will help President Trump make America stronger than ever before.
I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was always just sort of feeling tired. And so I said, maybe this will just help in overall vitality. But in the past couple of years that I've been taking it, I find my energy has been great. I've been sleeping better. I don't get the cravings for junk food as often as I used to. I really attribute it to the product. It's so easy to use. Even if I want to take a capsule for my daughter and I just pull it apart to mix it in some juice or something, it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to incorporate. I really love the product. I think it's made such a difference.
Generally feel better, generally have better energy and more stamina. Breathing is easier, walking is easier. You're not in pain anymore, all right? I could go on and on.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
It's tax season. Are you prepared? Do you need help? It's time to call your trusted tax advisor, Timothy C. Wolf, who's a CPA with over 35 years' experience in tax planning and preparation. Tim is knowledgeable about the current as well as the new 2018 tax legislation. Tim will complete your return while you wait, where possible, or in as little as 48 hours. And he'll have your tax return electronically filed with any refund being directly deposited to your account. As a Food for the Poor business benefactor, Tim challenges new and existing clients to contribute to Food for the Poor, with any new client contributions matched up to $50. Call 847-818-0400 to schedule an appointment. All new clients will receive a 20% discount off their 2017 tax preparation fees, as well as a free review of your past 3 tax returns. 1 in 3 reviews have resulted in refunds up to $50,000. Now is the time to call or text Tim at 847-818-0400 to schedule your appointment, or go to timwolfcpa.com to find out more.
If you still haven't purchased the very best pillow, of course I'm talking about MyPillow, the 4-pack deal is back. So I strongly urge you to go online or call now to make sure you take advantage of this great deal. A great night's sleep is so important, so give yourself the gift of a great night's sleep by ordering a MyPillow. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. I love that I can move the fill to get the support I need, regardless if I sleep on my back or side. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. And MyPillow is made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Latoria Brothers Construction Company is a proud sponsor of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Turn to Latoria Brothers Construction Company for all your commercial, industrial, or retail construction needs. New construction, renovations, interior remodeling, facility expansions, and tenant owner build-outs. Latoria Brothers Construction Company has you covered from start to finish. From design concept through construction completion, Latoria Brothers offers a single-source proactive approach. Their family has been providing a high level of excellence in service, reliability and experience since 1948. Latoria Brothers. They'll modify services to accommodate your construction needs no matter what size and scope. Consulting, design, build, construction management, general contracting. Achieve your vision and dream for your facility. Save time and money. Make Latoria Brothers part of your construction team. Quality workmanship on time, on budget. Visit LatoriaConstruction.com or call 630-766-3036. Latoria Brothers, shaking hands, not fists.
AM 560, The Answer.
A plucky little band of Ramblers plays Michigan on Saturday, Amy.
Yeah, I think they stand a chance. I think they can beat them. I think that they will do something that no one has ever done, and that's an 11 seed going to the championship.
That's right.
What are the 4 teams, Dan, that have made it to the Final Four as an 11th seed?
Well, this is Loyola, George Mason in 2006, VCU in 2011, and, of course, LSU in 1986. Yeah, and so it's going to be fun.
You've done your homework.
And the kids are fun, and Porter Mosier, Bennett Grad, has done a great job coaching them, and there was some fun post-game interviews on Saturday.
The game was great, but the post-game interviews were wonderful because they're so humble and they're so appreciative, and they're just, they don't want this to end. That's why you want to keep winning so that you can keep the team together. You keep the band together, and you can make history.
And keep Sister Jean out of the house.
Exactly. Sister
convent.
Jean, she's going to have Nike shoes, by the way. They're having Nike Sister Jean shoes, which my kids call Sister Jeannie Ives.
There's so many great memes. I like the one where they've got a reporter asking her what she gave up for Lent, and she says losing.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
All right, so after the game, they talked to Ben Richardson and Clayton Curtis, and they were approached by a fan to take a picture.
In the hotel yesterday, a girl came up and said, "Hey, can I get a picture with you guys?" She goes, Here, mister, can you take the picture?" She handed the phone to him. And she goes, "Are you on the team?" And I was like, "Come on, man.
Come on,
But
man.
hey, we believe in ourselves, and I know I said Marcus was the best player on the floor last game. Ben Richardson was the best player on the floor tonight."
By the way, that's Clayton Custer, their name assassinator.
Yeah, Clayton, what did I call him?
Curtis.
Oh, Clayton Custer. No, Clayton Curtis. What's his name?
Clayton Custer.
Clayton Custer, yes. And that's why, nobody knew who he was. But everybody knows who they are now. God is back in basketball, and it is going to be a great game. Our thanks to technical producer Justin Kosick, associate producer Quinn McCarthy, Keith Conrad, the executive producer, and thanks to you for listening. Back tomorrow at 5 a.m. Now let's get into the newsroom. Dave Stewart, who's filling in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Among the stories we're watching today, authorities are looking for the cause of a fire in Gary, Indiana. They killed a young brother and his sister over the weekend. And an off-duty cop was wounded when his gun accidentally went off while inside his personal vehicle near the police station. More of news later, but now it's time for an update from Fox News on AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago, it's 9 o'clock.